What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. We are back again with some more special guests in the house. We have Harry Barnes, a capsule veteran at this point, I feel like. How many pods have you been on?
It's not my first time.
3?
If you include the one we did, the actual, just like me and you, right at the beginning.
Did we do
that count?
How
like
early was
interview.
that? Oh yeah, true. Yeah, right. Yeah, that counts.
So
that counts.
Probably about, is it 3 or 4?
Probably. We should keep a tally, see who's been on the most. It's probably like Abe and Tally at this point.
Yeah. Tally.
Extra guests. And also we have a new person on the capsule so far, Bruno from Boy Blue. We used to have like clapping sounds.
Where's the bombs? I want to.
First time on the capsule, but long time friend. I think I definitely did my first international battle with Bruno.
Yeah.
Porto 2010.
Raw.
We did 2 and 2.
Yeah.
At Euro Battle.
Mad. All styles or?
No, hip hop.
No, it was hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hip hop
Yeah,
2 and 2.
Harry, I used to do hip hop. And even before that, I used to do crump. Can you believe that?
Did you?
Crump. Yeah, mate.
Crump's the one I've never touched, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I've even like ever.
So, do you want to start the pod by telling us why you hate Crump?
No. Well, I'm joking.
Shaq, are you listening?
Yeah.
Oh,
Call out. No,
they say I move like a crumper in it, but like
you do have that vibe.
But the actual crump techniques I know absolutely nothing about, and I'd like to think I know something about all the other street styles to an extent.
Like you've done at least like a class or two.
Yeah, to maybe like throw a little freestyle out there, but like
crump not at all.
Nah, I'm lost.
Would you be interested or not really?
Do you know what it is? I don't really click with the music.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make me. If I like the music, then yeah, I don't have anything against the style, but it's just not my type of.
That's the same with me. It's like if I don't love the music, it's like really hard to get into.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where to begin? Obviously we've got the Boy Blue showcase band battle coming up on Sunday. Also there was a couple of battles this weekend. How did you do this weekend?
Don't put me on the spot.
You should have put your trophy up here.
Yeah.
Just been like, I don't know, and just put the trophy in.
You should have come with all your trophies.
Yeah. I mean, you probably are going to be still walking around with the Nike one at this point.
Oh, mate. It's there in the living room.
I'll tell you guys about Reckless Lee's battle on Saturday. Did you hear about it? Because you did that last one standing concept.
He did it
ages
years ago. Yeah.
I want to say that. What's that studio in Oval? Was it there?
Flow.
Yeah, Flow. You did it there, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember, I remember you doing it, but I hadn't seen the concept live. It's actually sick.
Oh, mate, it's sick.
I didn't like,
and it was upgraded. Like I was speaking to him yesterday. I didn't get to go, but because it was all at Samsung or something, wasn't it? So
it was sick.
I saw little videos and like. It was all on
the screen
at the back with usually they had balloons and they pop the balloon.
Oh, that's actually a sick idea as well.
You lose a life, so visually you can still like see it.
That's a sick idea.
Lee was saying he much preferred it with like obviously
the screen.
It's much more professional.
So the concept of the battle, like this one was a breaking battle, but they had done it as an all-stars battle before. But basically it's like, you know how in Seven to Smoke it's like, okay, you go and then if you lose, like you kind of join the back of the line and go. This one is like they choose 10 people and everybody sits at the back, and then I think they draw a name out of the hat, or however you start, they pick someone, and it's like you just pick who you want to battle. So let's say if I pick you come up, we battle. If you beat me, I don't go out, I just lose a life, and I have 3 lives total. Okay. So then I go sit back down, and it's always winner stays on.
Yeah.
So like then you stay on, you call Harry out, and then Harry beats you. That means you are on 2 lives, I'm on 2 lives, he's on 3 still.
Right.
And he stays on. But it's like it takes quite a while because it's kind of like a strategy game, because if you lose, you're not out straight away. But then you also you're gonna take some L's at some point, but you also want to be strategic about.
So is it like done on time, as in like a specific?
They just do it until someone's out, basically.
Oh wow!
This one took I think 45 minutes or so to do like the 10, which it was actually quite entertaining because it was like, it was cool to see how it was going to play out. And it's also like, if you don't get called out, you could just stay until like the final 2. If you manage to like hide. But
what would be your tactics with that? Would you go with who you thought was the strongest person early or late?
Late, I think. I think I'd just go for the weakest ones and try
and get them wiped out whilst you've got all your rounds.
The strongest person, but that's based on if I can beat them. What if I think I can't beat them? It depends where I am in the. If I'm like nearer the top, let's say it's like me, you, and then everyone else I think is like beatable. Then it's like, okay, I'm playing it different. To like if I think I'm middle of the pack.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like for example, Justice did something quite clever, where so he won like 3 or so rounds in a row, and he's starting to get tired, right? So then I think he was a few of them did this type of thing, but he was one of the first people to do it, I think. But he basically, I can't remember who he called out. So he'd done his 3 rounds, he won, starting to get tired, and then he calls up one of the stronger B-boys like against him, and whoever you call up has to go first. So they bang out a full round, and he literally just goes out, does like 5 seconds, like just a top rock and a little bit of the floor work, and just goes like that, and then goes and sits down and just takes the L. And then as I was watching, I was like seeing that like how smart that was, because so he knows he's going to lose like one of the few rounds coming up because he's starting to get tired, right? So what you could do is like call someone weak, thinking, oh, I might beat them because I'm tired. But on the chance that you lose, you take that loss, which you were going to take eventually anyway.
Yeah.
But then that weak person is going to lose probably the next round, right? Let's say there was let's say like this, there was no one weak in the round, but let's say like one of the people who you think is weaker. So then you lose a life, they lose a life, right? And then you're both out.
Yeah.
Or what Justice did is he knows he's going to lose one of the following rounds. So he calls up one of the strongest people, loses to them, but they're going to take out the next few people.
Right, got you.
So he's bringing them up so that everyone else takes some L's in a row. And if he doesn't, and that strong person loses, now one of the strongest people.
Who was the person he brought up?
I can't remember. I think it was like Infante or someone like that.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But it's like now that person, even if they don't beat people, that one of the stronger people has lost a life. So either way, you're smart, like in the way that you do that, I guess. But it's like, it's like this tactical, because it's like, for example, it's like, let's say if I don't know, I'm just trying to think of like how it would be for like popping or something. But it's like, if I know I'm going to lose.
Remember the All-Styles one? It was Breaks and Frankie who were the top 2, I remember.
Really?
And that one went off. That was like an hour long, I think, and Frankie won in the end, but it was so sick. You know?
I think it's clever, man, because it's like, you really have to play that strat, and because it's long, you're like on a 7 to smoke, you kind of want to stay on, because if you can manage to win 7, it's done. But with this, it's like even if you beat everyone, they've still got 2 more lives each.
Yeah.
So you can't stay on for the whole time. There's no way. So you have to know when is the time to bow out and then come back.
That's true. Actually, you can't just throw the kitchen sink in every single time.
Because I think that's the way to do. Maybe pull it.
Sorry,
that's all right. That's the thing to do with 7 to smoke is like, if you can manage to get all 7 in a row, do it straight away. As soon as you get on, stay on. You know.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, just like, because then you have to also wait to come back. This one you could lose, get called out, and be right back up the next round.
That's what I mean. You don't know when you're gonna get called back anyway, do you? So. And
I don't know what's better. Is it like to win a bunch, or is to like kind of just sit there quietly and not have anyone call you out and just hope to like keep your 3 lives until the end?
I think there's so many different ways you can play it, innit?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's interesting when you get to a point now where like it's about way more than your ability as a dancer. So it's just like
the strategy of it.
Strategy and like even like mind games, and which obviously plays a big part in battles anyway. But like when the concept is like that, it's just like so many different things involved that like is going to dictate who wins this thing. It's not necessarily going to be the out and out best technician or best battler or whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the smartest.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was thinking as well, it's like there was that, I don't know if you've seen that clip of like the UFC fighter, and like he gets hit or something, and then he kind of like stumbles back and like holds his face, and then because he looks like he's injured, the guy goes for him and he like just jumps up and cracks him.
It's like the fake whatever it's
like
called,
a fake injury.
Or like Muhammad Ali used to do
the rope-a-dope.
Rope-a-dope, that's it, that's what I was looking for.
But I was like thinking, imagine like, you know, you're doing the last one Sunday and just the whole time you're warming up, you're just complaining about an injury, like oh my leg, man, like I shouldn't even be battling today, like you're doing your warm-up rounds, like and then everyone calls you out and then you fucking go for
it. Spinning on it.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what? But yeah, there used to be funny enough, we're talking about Euro Battle, but like I don't know if they did it the year that we went, but maybe the year after they did a similar concept, but it's like a cypher, one judge, and then you basically just walk in, call someone out, battle one round. If you win, you stay in. If you lose, you're out of the cypher, and you just go until the cypher's empty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually quite a fun little side thing. Like it's not obviously, like you said, it's like it's not about like out and out who's the best. It's just like a strategy game, so it's quite fun.
Yeah, for getting rounds in as well.
Yeah,
like
you just go and then.
Sick.
And I was even saying to someone, but like I want to talk to Lee about this, but maybe I'll just send him this clip. But it's like I feel like that would be a fun game to play. Like I don't even need that to be an event. Like I was like, if there was like 10 of us that are like just friends, it's like let's just go in the studio, give each other like 3 lives, like hold up cards or something, and we just have like play it as a game.
Yeah.
Because even the one that they did, obviously the breakers have shorter rounds, but let's say it's an hour. It's like for top stylers, let's say it's like we could rent the studio for like 3 hours and run that at least twice with a warm up. You know, like that'd be quite a fun like training game to play.
That's definitely like a dope training thing, especially like for stamina and stuff. It's just like
people must do that.
What
people like definitely must.
Like
yeah.
But you know, I think it's like I don't know if you do this, but like I feel like training wise, like people either do like battle like proper hardcore like battle rounds, or they just cypher. Like no one really goes to like I don't know, like like playing sport, like. You might do like football training, but then you also might do 5-a-side. You might join a Sunday league team. Like you've got different ways to do it. Like for us, we just kind of, I don't know, do ciphers, or we actually do competitions, but we don't like ever be like, yo, should we all just go like do a 7 to smoke in a studio for our, like just for our own amusement kind of thing.
But it's about like, I think we're like when you're battling, your mindset is just like training. Do you know what was interesting? That I saw the clip that Lauren Scott was talking about, and she was saying how like, you know, her part of her training is involved of like sitting down and writing stuff down and like, do you know what I mean? Getting the brain working just as much as I need rounds. Because when you're in that setting, it's as much your mindset really, isn't it? As 100%. Well as your ability. So it's just like, I found what she said really, really interesting.
And for me, I'm also like, we were talking about this yesterday with Lewis, but like, I really enjoy battling. And like one of my biggest like, I guess issues is like when I go to a battle, I do like yesterday I didn't even do prelims. I did 2 rounds max, and then I'm like I want to dance more. Like I've got more, so it's like we could just do that in a studio. You know, it's like it doesn't have to be cypher or battles. Like we could train battles in studio. I don't know.
That's
like,
it. Like
just to get other ways of thinking. Or
for me, like I'm with Lewis, I think as well, because we're traveling from Manchester, Liverpool ways. The only time we're seeing everyone and doing rounds with people is when we're all in competition. Do you know what I mean? Where it's going to be nice, where there needs to be something that somewhere people can train. I'm trying not to say too much. Yeah. But there'd be a lovely if there could just be a place where everyone could train
that would
together.
Be so sick.
That would just be great. But yeah, anyway. Forgot where it was now. Because
you guys
I threw in a teaser and then went,
but you said about coming down to do rounds in.
Again, it'd be nice to have that kind of environment where it's everyone pushing together instead of everyone pushing against each other. I love the competitive thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I think I'd still compete. No, I'd still compete, but I'd still prefer the competition.
But I feel like also you can still have that, like I would love to like
I like competitive training.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Like I would love to let's say if there's like a we used to have like JoJo's or these type of like throwdown or like where there's
like Troc.
Exactly, like Troc. But it's like I'd love to battle against you anyway. But then I would love to be in a competitive cypher with you. Whereas imagine if it's like us lot, like some other people, but we're all on like let's not just do like, oh, you know, you're so amazing. No, well, you're so amazing. Yeah. But like, but just be like, all right, Harry, go in, and like, I'm gonna try to do better rounds than you, and like we going off for like hours, like.
And even stuff like the jack of all trade concept, where you like do a tutting round, do a toy man round. Yeah. I mean that's how I would train anyway. Yeah. But just on my own. Do you know
but I think that's like, for me, is like, that's ciphers at their best. For me, is like, you know, like we're all going in, but then it's like, okay, you know, I'm there, so then you start doing like lines and stuff, like purposely being like, come on. And
but then you see something someone else does, and then you
still
off
learn
that,
from it.
And that's the best part. I think that's the only reason. If I'm ever ciphering, it's because I'm looking for inspiration.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, not so you can see what I'm doing. It's more about like, let me just watch and see what people are doing. Bro, I don't cipher a lot.
Yeah, no, it has to be the right environment.
Yeah,
and music as well. Because I think also it's like, that's one thing that people miss is like, they go in and do their rounds, and then when they're on the outside, they're just like checking their phone or something. It's like the best part of a cipher is like watching everyone else's rounds. And like, yeah.
Doesn't happen like that a lot anymore though.
Nah.
You could be onto something here though, like the capsule training pod or something. Do you know?
Already on
Obviously.
Obviously. We'll let you know about that one. I'll tell you about it off the pod. But yeah, definitely looking for more of that type of thing for sure.
I think it's needed, man, because it like it helps with just the community aspect of everything as well. And like Harry's saying, if people are coming down from like Manny and Liverpool and let's say you do that and you don't even get through your prelim, essentially your training is done.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's
bro, that's why it was so important for like, say with the Nike thing, like there was so many things that could have been solved by like cutting down the amount of rounds that people were going to get, or cutting down the time limits. Yeah. And I was like, that's one thing I'm not budging on, is like, we need extra time and stuff. But I was like, those prelim people that came, like, and I've criticized like Summer Dance for this type of thing before, about having like 30-second rounds and 2 people at the same time and all that. Yeah. So I was like, we could literally shave like hours off the schedule if we just make them do 30-second rounds instead of a minute. But I was like, no, like those are the people that like support. That's like the majority, because it's like a pyramid, isn't it? So it's like 80% of the people come who are prelim guests, and then you get the top 16s. Yeah. But I was like, no, they deserve their 1 full minute of like battle rounds against each other, and for it to be filmed. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like if I came, imagine like someone from up north travels all the way down for that battle, it's at Nike, and then it's like, oh yeah, 30 seconds, all right, get off. Like, I don't want them to feel like, like we want to get onto the good people, you know?
That's what a lot of competitions these days, I think, have the feel of.
Yeah, it's just like, you're not the good people, like, so just get on with it.
You just push to the side.
But I think it makes a difference when like, because obviously from doing this Boy Blue thing, like, I'm very much in the organization and producing of it. And it's like, if you don't have people who are going to fight for them kind of things within the organizational 100%. Setting, that all they care about is the time, finishing on time, get out on time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a diss towards them, but you know, they have their goal.
Exactly, you need the balance.
Their rule,
and also, if we were let loose by ourselves, there'd be no
right.
Like,
exactly.
That's why
we'd be like, okay, 5-minute prelims for everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Let's just cipher that. Like, oh, there's a call out. Let's stop the whole event and just do that. Like, like you need the other person to go, well, we do have a time limit. But yeah, like even that, because we did like that, the prelims, and then we did like top 16. So it's like I wanted people to get like as many rounds in as possible. But that's like my biggest like negative side of the battle scene, is just like, it's always too quick. I just want more rounds. Like even as an audience member, like a lot of people disagree with me on this. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm like, you know, the idea of like the round robin thing.
Yeah.
As an audience member, I prefer that to straight top 16s. And I've spoken to breakers, and a lot of them are like, nah, I disagree. But like for me, it's like, I'd rather see like if I see like you, Silk, like blah blah, whoever in the pop-in, I want to see you guys battling a few times. So by the time you get to the final, I'm like really on your team, because I've seen you battle your way through. Yeah, like I'm more invested in your journey rather than just.
Does it go round robin straight into top 8 or top 4 or what?
Round robin would be 4 groups. So if it's top 16, 4 groups of 4. And then that, if you take the top 2 from each group, then you go to the top.
So 2 go through from each.
8. Yeah, I think so. Like in the 4, everyone battles everyone.
So then you've battled. So you've done 3 rounds already.
Everyone does 3 rounds.
Then you do
top 8, top 4, finals.
Top 8 probably be another round 4, 5, 6. You seem top maths here.
So yeah, 3 rounds in the. If you do 1 round. 3,
yeah, it sounds, to be fair,
7, 8.
It's like 8 rounds, isn't
well, it depends how many rounds in each. So if you do 3 for the round robin, then in the top 8 you do, let's say, 1. Top 4 you do 2, let's say. So that's
final. You
3,
do 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 8 or 9 rounds. But because it's like you did Kingdoms League, innit?
Yeah.
How far did you get? Like, did you do quite a lot of rounds?
In the final thing,
because I remember Nick doing like ton, like.
So me and Nick were the 2 that got through the morning.
Right.
So we had to do. We did a prelim round, then we did a battle. Yeah. Then we did a round robin. Yeah. Then I had to do a tiebreaker for the round robin because there was 3 of us tied on points.
Stress. Oh yeah, stress.
And then no one picked me or Nick to battle in the first round, so me and Nick had to battle each other. Stress. And after getting through, so roundless.
But do you like Nick that feeling of like doing that many rounds, or is that too much?
I do now.
Right.
I've done some growing recently, and my stamina and all that's better. But like, yeah, I didn't used to like doing it as much because I would just burn out, or I'd feel like I'd throw the kitchen sink in, but and I was still in top 8. Right. Thrown everything in. It's always been a problem of mine.
But do you feel like if you did, let's say it's like you lose in the top 8, but it's like, or like let's say you lose in the top 16, but then you're like, oh, but what if I had more chances to like redeem myself? Like I'm out now and that's done. That's 1 round. I'm out. But like, don't you feel like I'd prefer more chances? Or he's probably like, oh, I never lose in the top 16. Lose in the top 16? What's that about? I thought that was the warm-up rounds.
Oh, it definitely happens. I've felt the burn many times. Yeah. I think I agree with you in that sense. Yeah, I think it's nice to get the rounds in. I think even the way we did the Red Bull BC1 thing in Paris. Yeah. With the 8 guests.
What was it? Can you explain that concept? I don't think I know about that.
So there was 8 of us invited. Mm-hmm. It was Europeans only, I think, yeah. And we all had to battle each other once. So we all drew out of a hat a number at the start. Mm-hmm. I drew 1. So I had to go in the first battle. Basically, it just chose our order. So there was no like bias in it because there was
everyone battles 7 times.
Everyone did 7 battles, 2 rounds per battle.
Wow.
Intense.
Straight,
just like on a round robin feel, like the same type of thing.
And then they pick who won the most battles out of that 7.
And there was literally a board as it was going, and it was just tallying up.
And you like that concept?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a proper good challenge. It tests your stamina, your creativity, your just fucking everything, to be honest. Go on, there's my first swear word. How long did we get through before? 24 minutes. That's heavy, that, sorry.
Because now he's like a teacher, innit? So he's got kids watching.
Yeah. But like, I know I've been on it before because my dad said, you need to stop swearing. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, Dad, 24 minutes there. But yeah, I've completely lost myself again. But yeah.
You like doing the 7 battles, basically?
Yeah, I think that is a good one. I think it's a real good test for anyone, like of any level. Like there was people like Ness and that competing that day, and it even tested him. Do you know what I mean? And I see him as one of the best at the moment in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, stamina wise, like him and Poppin C are known for that like stamina thing. And to be fair, he didn't look like he was like knackered at all. I looked like a strawberry. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just red in the face, just like the security guard kept laughing at me because I kept like limping out, like top off, just like dripping
like
with
a boxer
sweat
after a fight.
Yeah, and he was just like laughing at me, like Yeah, wasn't my finest moment. Can't lie, but good concept. Good concept. I'd like to do it again. Yeah,
that could be a good training concept as well.
Yeah,
just 8 of us in the studio and just.
That's a lot. Like 2 rounds, 7 battles in a short space of time.
Do you know how
intense.
long it took, the whole thing?
That was the only thing. I reckon it must have been, to an extent, a bit of a boring watch, I think, because you're just watching the same dances over and over.
But I don't know, because again, for me, I'm more invested than the average person, but I feel like I'd want to see that, because then I'm like, I want to see Ness go, he lost the last one, maybe he can win this one. Like,
yeah, and it was close down to the last minute. It wasn't like someone ran away with it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like saying, imagine watching the same 2 football teams for 90 minutes. That's boring. Like, it's but that's the point, is that you have time to like be invested in
and everyone lost at least one. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like...
Yeah. I'd like to see that with like a crew thing. Like, imagine a 3-on-3
There needs to just be more crew battles, like all-style crew battles.
It's just gone, man.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. And even now, when I see crew stuff, is it really crew stuff? Or is it just a bunch of soloists who can kind of... Normally, people would just get together 10 minutes before.
That's what we did in Manchester.
At the event.
We did that in Manchester. We were we got there and we were like,
done that in the past
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Fuck it, let's do it.
I'm going to do this and then you do this. And then obviously, if you have enough battle experience, you can just make it. But then essentially, is it crew? Like, no. I don't know. I think back to like jump off days and I'm like, okay, that was like
a crew
stuff. Like people had.
I never got to do them. I'm gutted about it. Yeah. Oh, mate, it looks amazing.
It was a crazy time.
I watched it. That was like my first things I was watching. Oh, really? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Even like KOD and stuff was a bit more like crew.
Or even like, what's it called? I can't remember the name, but everyone went there at some point. I remember Swarf and Calvin and all them lot going, what was that? I can't remember the name.
I was going to say jump off.
Funkin' Styles.
Funkin' Styles was the crew, was the big crew one.
Yeah, I think it was Funkin' Styles. Yeah,
in Germany.
Funkin' Styles. Yeah.
Yeah, Funkin' Styles was like the big crew one.
Prototype.
Yeah,
it was they won it, didn't they?
They won the world's one. Yeah, I think so.
That's big.
We won a UK qualifier. Does that count?
Did you?
Yeah. Me, Mus, Marvel, Benji, and Midair.
Sick.
Benji. Yeah. Where the hell's Benji?
Bro, you know where I ran into Benji? I haven't seen Benji since like we used to battle. Fucking ran into him at my dentist.
Wow.
Just here, bro. I was sitting in the dentist and he just goes, "Yo, Duke." And then I turned around. I was like, of all people, like.
See the breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He used to be a Maverick.
You know Shogs?
Yeah.
His older brother.
They look alike. That makes complete sense. Yeah.
That's how I knew Shogs when he first.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
well, I can see that.
Yeah. Benji was like one of the nicest, bro. That trip, you would have loved that. When we went to Funkin' Styles, we were like, I've never laughed like so many times. Like, just everything was fucking funny.
Was that Germany?
Yeah, that was Germany. But yeah, the cruise thing is. But shame. You know, here's my question, right? Tell me what you think. I don't know whether it's like, right, if there's more battles that have crew sections, people will start training as crews because they know there's a reason to. Or is it once people start having more crews that then the battle organizers will have more categories for it? Do you know what I mean? Like, which needs to come first?
Yeah, I think it's one of those. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because it could be either that comes first. Yeah. But I think also that the time that we're in and just the spaces that are not available that used to be, and like if I think back to like back in the day, like when we used to train, even before Troc, it was like Storm on a Wednesday night. There was like a bar in Ilford that like Static, Alpa, me like
what was the name of it?
School. I can't remember what it was called, but I was talking to Ken about this the other day, and it was like and then Sunday, like some of us would leave Boy Blue training and go to Bar Rumba in the West End because they had a hip hop night.
Yeah, and so Bar Rumba and JoJo's was like similar times, so people would bounce back between the two.
So there was always a lot more time and space. And
true. To like develop a crew as well.
Exactly.
Because I think that's the other thing is like, for me, it's like the crew thing is like you need the space, like, and that like London renting a fucking studio is like insane. Shout out Maryland Studios if you need one.
Yeah.
But also like, what was I going to say? Like, having the space to train as a crew is one thing, but also it's like the social element of like, I want to hang out with my crew and like You know what I mean? It's like where you need those like dance social spaces, I think, as well.
And plus, just in general, like in the community, that there were a lot more crews that mainly may not have battled per se first off, but there were a lot more like groups that were more crews, whereas now it's more so companies. If you have, or there's just purist battlers that don't really touch.
They're not with anyone. They're just,
know what I mean? They're just on their ones doing their thing, which is
and
fine,
now it's like you can do that. Like it used to be more like, because I guess that's the blessing and the curse of like people being so open and welcoming, because it's like I can train, like Harry could teach me everything he knows without me needing to be in Monsters, but it's like that never used to be the case. It used to be like, nah, I'm not even like training with you. I'm not even going to, like, you only train with your crew. But now, you know, like even Kev's is like, you don't have to be in Monsters to train at Kev's, or you don't have to be in like I don't know, when Firehouse had their classes, it was like all welcome and open, which is great and lovely, but then it also kind of erodes the need for a crew, even because I can train with Kev, I can train with Brooke, I can train with Harry, I
can be in this crew but then still train with this crew. It doesn't,
which I think is a good thing. I'm not saying that like is bad, but it is part of the reason why the crew thing isn't so solid, I guess.
Yeah, because before it was like you're with your crew and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you don't even like, I remember going to GWI like the first time and it was like people were literally parked in their corners.
Yeah, you don't even sit
like,
during tech.
You can't even look at people and like, you know, it was like as soon as you walk in, the competitive atmosphere was tense and everyone was like, who's gonna win this thing? Like, I'm not talking to this crew. I'm not talking to this crew. You know what I mean? Like I remember even when I first joined Boy Blue, there was beefs, and you join the crew, you inherit the beefs. You know what I mean? It's almost like flipping G Unit, or like, do you know what I mean? It was like it was that kind of mentality. It was like, right, okay, 50s with us, so that means that we're beefing Ja Rule.
That's like even in hip hop, like that was those days.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like now it's not. There isn't really like crew beef in that, even in hip hop.
Well, I think as well, everyone, I think maybe it's a social media thing as well. I think people follow people more these days,
like individuals.
People like you see, like for example, like Caine has got fans, 100%. They're at like a lot of the battles, and they're not like not. I don't say that in like a bad way. They're like groupies or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
But but people that like are fans.
Harry, when you've got groupies, bro.
But when
don't even try it.
I'm one.
Man has got groupies.
when he dances, you see like people will come to watch because it's Caine. Or like I'm just using him as an example, but
it's true.
And I know there's always been people that have been maybe one of the favorites or whatever, but I think people have it is more like a fan thing now, like because of social media, they're following everything you do, or do you know what I mean? And then the good crews, so like UPG, I reckon instead of making their own crew, everyone would just want to be in UPG. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone goes where the good thing is.
Yeah. Well, I was saying this to maybe Gadget or someone like that. I can't remember. I was talking to someone in that generation about that. And it's like, I think it's better to like not do that. Like, say with like in the house scene, it's like they're like one of the only UK house crews, really. Like there used to be like well, I think there's still a couple of other ones, but it's like if I'm in the house scene, or if like let's say in the hip hop, if I'm that generation now, I would more be like, I want to make a crew that's going to take out UPG. Like that would be the fun thing about battling. Not like I want to join, like even if I'm still friends with them, it's still like I would want to compete with them, not join. You know what I mean? I don't know, unless you're like really tight and you're friends with them.
Well, for me, like when it came, because I just didn't want to be in a crew for like the first,
for a while.
I think I probably did like 6-7 years in the scene, and it wasn't on purpose. It was just like I just didn't even think about it. And then at the time, and I say at the time, maybe controversial.
Go on.
But at the time, Firehouse were the definitely seen as when Brooke and Dixon was still battling active and
and there was like Holistic, Sean, like everyone was like active.
And it was still Paris. Well, Paris is still smacking it now, but
there was a time when at least them five were like
they were all on it at the same time, and they were having their sessions all the time and and they were probably seen as the favourites. Do you know what I mean? And we were the Monsters were the underdogs, like. That's why I was plus Monsters, like I love
Your
them
friends,
as well.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I love that
The
underdog thing of like, let's try and flip the script on it. No.
Yeah, 100%. Like be the bad guys.
Yeah. And we never quite did. Never quite did. Like in battles, we'd always lose. Like KOD, we lost by a point.
Yeah.
Just about every year by like a vote. Do you know what I mean? It was just like,
but you guys were also so different as well as crews. Like goes back to what you're saying about the following thing. Like back then it was like be original and like Firehouse, as sick as they were and Monsters, they're both sick, but they're both so different. Like whereas now it's like rather than have someone be like, okay, I want to make this is what's happening here. I want to go here and make something here to go and join.
Almost
that.
like bring a different identity to the scene, like
exactly.
Which is kind of what Monsters did, and like even like more back in our day, but like Goodfoot. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Like Goodfoot were like the G style guys, like a lot of them. So then it was like back when here it was like a lot of like mechanical, like IP was like Mechanical, Dixon, Alpa, a lot of the like funk style type of guys, right? So then it was like IP, and then there was Goodfoot who did all the G style stuff, and that it was like it was like Firehouse and Monsters, but way more different. Firehouse and Monsters are still different, but they're like here. IP and Goodfoot were like here, really other ends of the spectrum, and that was mad heated time as well in the popping scene. But like, and then Monsters came, I think, kind of came in the middle and was like, all right, well, we're gonna fucking be in this space. But it is interesting when you have this crew that like, even if it's not it can be an underdog like winning thing, or it can just be like, we've got something that, because like when Monsters first started, I remember it being like Monsters were that's, to be honest, training with Monsters were where I got a lot of my like concept-y stuff. Like I used to watch all the French guys, and that was like Marvin, Jadawi, that's where all my concept-y stuff came from. Like inspiration wise. But training in the UK, the only people I would train with like it was like Alpa, Nick, Breaks, were doing all these like threads and like this type of shit. There was a few hip-hop dancers, but when I was doing that in hip hop, it was really like, it's crazy to see it now. And I sound like such a fucking old man.
All that stuff reminds me of Alpa.
Yeah. Oh, that's Alpa classic. I used to be like mesmerized by watching him do it. But like, I sound like such an old guy now. But like, when I started doing the threads and stuff in hip hop, people were like, oh, you look like you're doing popping in hip hop. And now it's like, that's part of hip hop is to do all this concept stuff. But at that time, everyone was just doing like bounce and like social dance stuff. And then everyone was like, I used to get cussed for it because it's like, oh, he's doing like, you're like, I used to lose, and then judges would be like, yeah, but you're just doing popping, you're not doing hip hop. And I'm like,
where did that change come from? Was that the Twins?
No, it was before that, but it was, best of my memory, it was people like, Salas.
Bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course I know Salas.
Salas was like one of that generation that would like do crazy, like he would like do a little bit of a bounce, but mostly just like concept arm stuff. People like Salas, Marvin as well was that generation, different crew, but
they're all from the same place, like Jadawi and all that, aren't they?
Well, Jadawi's from north of France, so Lille. And then like. Oh, I know, you're right. Salas is from Lille as well. True. So like Salas, a lot of the like Legion X guys. Jadawi was like doing concept stuff, but not. Or that was obviously popping, but like I think the thing that Jadawi and Pepito brought, well, Salah as well, but like was the b-boy mentality of like having sets. They would pop how breakers break, like they would do their dance movements and then go, right, time for this whole set that I've got. They didn't have a little bit, but they weren't really like freestyling with tutting like someone like Robo Z was doing, like just freestyling all the stuff. They would have sets that they just did, and like there was like a very b-boy mentality, which was sick. But yeah, I think the hip-hop thing changed from people like Salas, Marvin, Feist a little bit, that kind of generation where it was like that go-between, because you had the older lot, a little bit older lot in France who again like here was like very like dancey bounce, and then this concept-y stuff started coming into hip-hop.
I like both, to be honest. I like a mix of both.
There was like for me anyway, again, old guy moment, but like there was like a generation like Feist and those guys who I thought it was like perfect level of like dancey
balance.
with the stuff. And now I think there's moments and places in the world where they're a bit too into just concepty stuff, and you lose that, and then whatever. So I think there needs to be like some middle ground, but that's just my personal preference. But
yeah, no, I think I'm with you.
All that to say, Recklessly's event was dope.
Yeah.
That's what we
40
did.
minutes later.
Standing was sick. How do you? I can never remember where we came from. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while, but it's like,
Oh my god! Sorry, Lee. There's your review.
Yeah. It's like 1.5 minutes of saying the concept was good, and then just us talking.
Yeah,
no, but it was a good event anyway. To wrap that up.
40 minutes. Fucking hell.
Hello.
Bruno just wants to talk about his event. Come on.
Yeah.
No, this is real interesting because obviously for me, like, it's been a while since I've been immersed in the battle scene.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of more recent times it's come from being involved in UDO. And because of it, literally, I fell into being responsible for the battles just because I was like, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. And they were like,
all right, you do it.
Yeah, basically. So, and it was really interesting because that showed me a lot of like the new guys that are coming in.
Yeah.
So there's like this massive gap where I was kind of like in from a fan perspective, but not really in. And then strangely enough, via UDO, which is very far from what the battle scene would be, I've kind of fell back into it. So yeah, it's interesting. And it's interesting to talk about the different concepts because essentially you're talking about evolution, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're talking about hip hop in general and how it evolves, like obviously a battle format is the format, and like how are we going to consistently evolve this format so that it has longevity?
100%.
And concepts are key to that because it can't just be the same thing all the time because people are getting bored.
Yeah.
Will get bored. And then you have to consider the audience. Like you have fresh people who know nothing about battles. They're just like dancing. And then you have people like us who really, really love the dance. And it's like, where's the balance to make an event where it's like, okay, you're catering for like the hardcore heads, but also it's not so hardcore that the people who just love a bit of dancing can still enjoy the event.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. And it's like there's
just before I forget, because I will. Some of the stuff we've said as well could be good for UDO, innit?
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of kids that we get.
Yeah, like we've had, like me and Harry, we've had extensive conversations, had chats with Lee and stuff, and like I think the way I see it, like it's funny, like this the whole UDO thing. Like I remember the first time I went into this whole competition format, and it wasn't UDO, it was another company. I don't even know if they're still around, but I remember going and watching the solos thing and being like, what is this?
What's happening?
Why is it branded street dance?
It comes from the disco world, doesn't it?
If you know your history, you know that the whole format is taken from freestyle disco. So when I came into that, at the time I was battling heavy and I was like doing like commercial work and whatnot. So I was like balancing the both, and like I was like, oh cool, a comp, sick. I went there and I was just like, it put me off completely. Because I was just like, people were winning, and obviously it was me one who was kind of involved in the scene, and then everyone else on the panel would not really. So I was like, what is going on? So everything, all of my votes were like
different than
they essentially didn't count because everyone else was going for like glitter and you know what I mean, and all these things. And then like I came back into around the UDO circuit because I was just like, and you have to credit like John Graham and like Clara because they really tried to merge the whole thing. And
it's way closer than it's ever been now.
Yeah,
like our scenes are a lot more.
Definitely. So I feel like now we have a responsibility to kind of like carry on that. And what is the next level of that? Because I only came back in because I was like, oh, they got people in now that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about. So like now that the battle element within UDO is getting bigger, how do we now merge that? And like there's so many conversations that we've had that we're going to try and put into play just to kind of just fuse the whole thing and make the whole thing like be almost like one scene, because essentially it's kind of doing that anyway. Even if you look at like obviously the guys coming in, but even before that, obviously Harry from you were probably one of the first, right? I think that made that that transition. And it's like,
yeah, me, Kieran Lay,
Josh, maybe.
Josh Constanza. We were that generation, I think, was the first one that made the switch over. Yeah.
It's weird because there's like you guys all came from UDO world at the same time, similar. But then you have also like Kieran, Paris, all those guys who came from like Swindon dance. There's always like these little pockets that all
Lewis
just
on with you. Because that's all the same gen, isn't it?
Yeah, true. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that can be like inputted to make it. And the thing is that we can't ignore that it needs to work on the UDO side. Like part of the draw is how many people you get through the doors, like how many people feel included and get a part in it. So it's like you still need to keep all those things without losing the battle thing. I know Saw did a battle day. Were you there? 2 weekends ago.
Oh no, yeah, sorry, yeah, of course I was, yeah.
Yeah, how did that
I was
go?
judging it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they did that battle day,
sorry, yeah, I'm tired. It is early, like by the way. You won't know this, but this is
a
quite
morning
early
pod
for me. What
we never do morning pods. It's 11:30 when we're doing this.
Sorry, how was it?
Yeah, the only thing I saw was that the rounds were quite short. It was like 20-second rounds or something, wasn't it? 25 seconds or something.
Maybe prelims.
Prelims,
do you know what? I thought everyone got a fair.
Oh yeah,
yeah. From what I remember, I can't remember thinking like, "Come on, guys," because I've said things before in that kind of circumstance where I don't think it's fair, and we're just rushing through to rush through. But. Yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I thought the level was really good, which it's nice to see at these like UDO Saw kind of comps now.
See, like,
I don't know for the others because I
scene.
don't do them, but like you see the same people that are like the new gen in the battle scene coming to still do these comps, and then you're seeing like my students wearing that one, but like.
The young ones
at Worlds, my students like all getting to see like Caine dance in person, or Zach or something, Kenzie.
Yeah,
it's inspiring to them. So then it's going to bring them up a level as well, because it's.
I think that's the key to like merging the scenes.
100%.
Like, if you have them opened, even if like for example that was good because it was on the Friday. So even if like people that travel up for the battles don't want to stay for the whole solos, duos, everything the whole weekend, they can just come for the Friday. But then it's like still those kids that are like in these street dance schools are like getting exposure to like
the only thing that I find difficult with a lot of these comps is where they're located. Is always
they're
like
in the middle of nowhere.
It's either even like Blackpool is different because Blackpool you can get off the train and then just walk straight to the venue, but like say like, and this isn't a cuss to the event at all, but like with the Super Weekender it was at the Manchester NEC. In fact, I am chatting shit, you know, because you can get off Birmingham International and
but
then
there
walk
are some
to the
that it's
NEC.
like I've been to some that I'm like, if I wasn't driving, this would. Can we just leave it in, but just say that it's cut?
Yeah.
Right,
Cut
cool.
out.
Look,
That's a lie. I started saying it and then I was like, but then I did get off a train myself.
You're like, you can't just get off a train. I know that because when I got off the train and walked to it, like
it was such a long walk.
No, but there are some that like some of the UDOs I've done that it's like, if I'm not driving, it's like it is a bit of a mission to like get a train, get a cab, and which is like, you know, part of the thing of the accessibility, because a lot of these kids that come are probably like families that their parents have cars and they drive them there and stuff.
Well, plus this whole schools, isn't it? And they're not just coming for the battle.
They're doing their
whole day of everything.
I wonder if there's something like, you know how Summer Dance, right, has like the battles during the days and like workshops and stuff, but then in the evenings they have the theatre forever. So like every night you can go and watch like like 2 or 3 sick performances in the evening. I wonder if there's something like that with UDO where it's like, imagine you had like almost like a festival vibe, where it's like during the day you have all these solos and stuff, and then each evening you have like a battle night and it's like a different style or something.
Oh, a battle night. So I thought you were going to say a show in the night.
Well, yeah, or a show, but like
because that's what Super Weekender was.
Ah, okay.
But, like Royal Family were over, weren't they? So they and like Shock Out and Shock Out, by the way,
killed it.
Yeah, I think it was Yasmin Hark and Ainsley Ricketts, but
good show.
Yeah, but they did. I saw them do 2 different pieces. I think I missed one.
Right.
But both pieces were banging, like sick. Really, really nicely done. Anyway,
But I feel like,
that's how they did Super Weekender.
But if they, instead of the show, imagine they make that like a battle.
A battle,
like a hip hop battle, popping back. And then it's like all these kids that are there for, like, the battlers just come for the evening.
And, and do you know what else was good? They did invite, which I've never seen at one of these comps.
Oh, really?
Oh,
they did
so they invited
Caine.
They invited Caine, Carl, Kenzie, and Red.
Which guarantees, like,
do you know what I mean?
level.
Which, I thought that was a clever little move as well, because that, again, for that age group and that generation, they're like 4 of your biggest
for sure
names, aren't they? And then to know they're going to be at the event, even just to watch, that's going to be good.
It makes everyone else want to come. Yeah, I think there's something in that, like, festival. I think I was talking about this before, but I think that is the new way of doing international events. It's like, it has to be like a festival vibe, because now it's really hard to justify me flying to a country to do prelims, watch a battle, and come home. Yeah. Like, if I don't get through prelims, it's like you need something like IBE or one of them where it's like there's loads of other stuff. Yeah. There's a little battle here, there's this, there's a workshop, there's this, there's a show, and like you're like, all right, I went for 3 days, I didn't pass prelims, but I did so much. Like,
have you done summer dance?
Me, Bruno, no.
Either of you?
I've been. I haven't.
You've been.
I didn't enter.
But like it's just amazing though, isn't it?
Yeah, you went as well.
I've been. I
was there the same fucking time as you.
Where were you?
When you battled Mike, I was there.
Were you?
Yeah.
When I battled Mike?
Yeah. Because I remember I was talking to Monster then.
When Monster was the judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
Because I was there with breaks that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like it, and I like that because like I went actually more for the theatre stuff, and I was like, I'll catch a few battles while I'm there. But there was a lot of companies I wanted to see, but I really like that festival where there's a lot of different
sounds like
stuff
the way
happening.
forward, doesn't it? Because it kind of caters to everything, and
exactly.
Yeah, literally.
And you get more audience there, you know, because it's like how many people like came for the battles, but they're like, oh well, while I'm here, I'll go see a theatre show.
Yeah,
or like,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
pack
yeah,
out
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Everything's packed because those people just do all the. And I haven't been to IB, but from what I hear, like you know, they have like the main battles, but then they have those little side battle. What was the robot? What did they call it?
Robot Wars.
Yeah, like they have like little side battles, and you can always go and get involved in something. And like,
even just like, because it all happens like so, it's. I couldn't quite understand it. I went years ago, and I was still like new to traveling and that, and, but it seemed like the whole city where it was had just like closed down. Like nothing was open, but this big dance event was happening.
Yeah.
And then so like all the bars were still open, so like everyone would be having a drink in a night, and then you know what b-boys are like, they just want to dance at any given time. Yeah. So like they're all like, then it's like the whole ego thing comes in. Who can flip over? Who can do the best flip over this chair? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's in the middle of the street just going mad. Like just sick stuff like that though.
That's cool, man.
Like, or like street ciphers and street battles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it was just going off like the whole time for like 3 days. Very good event, I thought.
Because I feel like that's like, say with like UDO or like even like Move It or these type of like organizations, it's like that would be a sick way, because I think it's like Move It or UDO like have those crowds of people, and we've got the like kind of high level dancers but no crowd, and it's like you could just put those together somehow.
They do need to do a battle at Move It.
Yeah.
And I don't mean freestyle stage. I mean like
on the main stage.
Listen, I said that to them a couple of years ago that I would be down to like run something.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I'll organize. Just give me a budget to like pay judges and the winner and stuff, and myself, and but like I would run like a battle there, and it's like you could do it on the do top 32 on the freestyle stage. That's more entertaining, I think, than watching people just go up one at a time.
Yeah.
And then let's say top semis and finals you do on the main stage.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You just move it there and be like, this has been happening all day.
Yeah.
Like, and you could do two the same battle twice, basically. Imagine you do like an all styles or like a hip hop. You do hip hop one day, pop in one day, or like 2 all styles battles.
That's what I mean. They got multiple days that you could do a different style a day and spread it out.
And
there's
it's like
so much of the same thing happening at Move It. There's enough space to take out some of that samey stuff and put something in that really is needed. Like it's needed for the scene to have that.
It is, because it's there's so many people that go to Move It that are like looking for or like what they're gonna do next as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's like not an option. The battle scene is just not seen in that kind of light at all.
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
To be honest, at some point, like it would be on my business plan to like get a stall at Move It for the capsule, just to like bring people. That's like where 100%. That would be our job.
Heard the prices of them,
bro. That's what I mean. It's like insane. Like, of course, like, yeah, bro, it would be insane. And I think it's like, dope. I would prefer to work with Move It to bring people to the battle scene. Yeah. But in the same way that like the colleges are like trying to recruit, it's like, I do think we need to be exposed to that scene, if that makes sense.
100%.
And like people, you know, doing showcases and stuff does help. But I think if people knew, like, let's say, for example, best case scenario, the capsule runs a battle, there's the semis and the finals on the main stage, and we have a stall where we can, like, show people about the battle scene. Like, we've got, like, videos playing on the thing. We can, like, let people know about what's going on. Just like that, you'd have so many more people coming into the scene just from seeing, like... To be honest, my whole... I kind of, like, started through Move It, kind of, because I was going to classes at Pineapple already, where I met like Sim and Daniel from Ruthless and all them lot. But like kind of at a similar time, I went to Move It and I saw, this is hilarious, there was an advertising thing for, do you remember Club Gel? That Ken judged it. It was at the Coronet Theatre in Elephant and Castle. It was like a competition.
That does ring a bell.
I'm sure you were there. You must have been.
Probably was.
Because I think Boy Blue performed, and like Pink Swarf performed with Pink Mafia.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And Bird Gang performed. Yeah. And it was like a dead, like the first thing was like quite sick, and then it just, the next round like never happened. They ran out of money or something. Toilet? Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Left. Shout out to Moves Magazine in the place, covering the pod. What was I going to say? Yeah, so... Anyway, I found Club Gel from that. I went and did a fucking terrible freestyle solo. And then I met Ken there, Thomas Simon, Kendra, Quayle, someone else. And then at Club Gel, I think they gave me a flyer for Bird Gang class at Pineapple. So I went to Bird Gang, and then this is how I like started to know everyone. Right. So it's like, it can just happen like from these type of things when you have a huge crowd. Because obviously it's like, if you Google street dance, you've got like Pineapple, Move It. Like you're not getting at this point, like the capsule, you're not getting fucking, even the biggest battle is like, I'm trying to think what would be big in regular ones, but it's like, you're not getting that just from a normal person Googling. You still have to know someone. So it's like, I feel like Move It and people like that could do way more to like
100%. And I think as well, from an education perspective, like I think a lot of young people that are coming up now, when they're looking at these things, and part of it is down to the work that UDO has done and the amount of kids that have been involved or exposed to street dance. When they're looking at colleges and stuff, they're like, okay, what do you do for that? Like from a Boy Blue perspective, we're getting pulled in left, right and center from higher education people that are like, we want this, we want that, we want this. And obviously you've got Academy Breaking Convention that's coming up, and it's just like all these different things, and maybe that will start to make a shift at Move It, because it's not just about the colleges that do the classical styles anymore, because the young people want something else now.
And it's starting to be included in that education stuff. So
exactly. So like we're doing like modules at the place, and we have a partnership with Lipar, and obviously UEL have been doing their thing for a long time, longer than everyone, and Shockout are doing their thing, and you know, they have a strong emphasis on, you know, street dance and wanting that to be part of their curriculum. And it's like, okay, if that's going to be happening, and then you've got specialists, people like Academy Breaking Convention all coming in, then like, where's their place? They have to have a place within this thing.
Not to get too like preachy, but like a lot of these places like Move It and stuff, it's like all of them, well, not all, but a lot of them colleges, a lot of the like performances on stage are like inspired by the styles that we do. Like there's like, they do a hip hop thing, they do like a fucking boogaloo part in it, or you know what I mean? And it's like cool, like you want to take that and put it on stage, but it's like those styles are being innovated in the battles and the thingy. Like they're looking at Harry and going, oh, let's start including tutting in our sets. And it's like Harry's not training his stuff at UDO or at Move It. He's training it in the battles, and that's why it's good. So if you're going to take that and use it, it's like, all right, this place where, like, imagine, I'm using you as an example, but it's like you'll go in, let's say you perform at Move It or something, everyone sees it and they're inspired by it, wow, amazing. And then it's like Harry goes back to this next battle that can barely afford to pay him 100 quid for winning. You know what I mean? And then he's like, it's such a bit, it's like you guys have all this money and you're benefiting from how good I am. But then when I'm going to the place that makes me good, it's like they can't afford to put on events and stuff. And it's like, there's something missing in that circulation of like, you're gaining from this shit, but you're not giving back to the shit, and it doesn't build in that way. So yeah, I think it's just like, it needs to be a bit more of a circular thing, but that's my preaching.
And again, does that then come down to the fact that the organization doesn't have a voice from somebody?
Exactly. You don't have that include. That's why I say with like what you were saying about UDO now, where it's like Clara, John, like now you like doing it. And it's even like you can see the benefits of it. It's because it's like, say with UDO, the credit you can give them is that there was enough of a link that you've given us people like Harry, like Kieran Lay, like all these people that have benefit, like that have stepped up. And I think, again, just to finish my preachingness, but like, I think one thing that people don't understand is that one big way of like giving back to the scene is by participation. So it's like, if you do stuff from the scene, you don't have to like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like, okay, someone that like teaches popping and travels the world being known as a popper. I don't have anyone in mind, I'm just saying this. But like, you can benefit from that and get paid and like do all the shit that you want to do. But just by being there, like, for example, say Kieran Lay. Let's use him as an example. He benefits a lot from the skills that he learned in the battle scene, right? So like all his cool tricks and stuff make him big on TikTok and stuff, make him able to do these musicals and all that. Obviously he's an amazing dancer as well. But by him being in the battle scene when kind of doesn't need to, like he could make money elsewhere, by him coming back into the battle scene and showing, like giving you and Silk a fucking tough time yesterday. And it's like that, those sort of things that contributes to, because that makes Harry train harder because he's got to beat Kieran. That makes other people inspired. That gives other people different ways to think. So in my head, just being a participant in the battle scene is giving back, if you know what I mean. So I think it's like, you know, say with UDO, it's like there's enough of a link that these, like Kenzie can be from UDO, but then there's a link to the battle scene. Like if I just follow Bruno or Clara on Insta, I'm going to see, there's battles. Let me go and check those battles. And now Kenzie's again another one where it's like he's participating in the battle scene, and that's driven through UDO. So again, it's like I feel like if Move It had that, where it's like, you know, even if they're not, you know, doing as much or whatever, but it's like if they were driving people to the battle scene, that's enough. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, they could always do more.
He hasn't forgotten where he's come from though.
Kieran,
with that. Kenzie.
Yeah.
You know, like it's easy, like because he's winning battles now. Do you know what I mean? And it's like he could just go, oh well, I don't do UDO anymore. Do you know what I mean? Where I've seen people do that in the past, and then it's almost like they're embarrassed to say they did it in the past for whatever stupid reason. Because like, I'll say it with chess, to be honest.
You love
like,
it,
I did many UDOs, and
but even like with him, like he's so humble with it as well. Like he's
great.
He was like, I remember speaking to him. Might have been Worlds or something, and I was like how was it? 'Cause I can't remember if he won. I'm not sure he won that time, but I was like, how'd you find it and stuff? And he was like, mate, like I'm just so happy because I've turned 16 and now I can compete in the over 16s. And he's talking about just UDO. But at the same time, he's doing Kingdoms League and he's batting up people.
But like winning, I think he won like 2 Kingdoms Leagues.
That's what I mean. But still, like at his core, he's like, I'm now over 16 and I can end up over 16 at UDO.
Nah, but a lot. There's a humbleness about it, which is really like.
But you really need that, and I think one thing for me that UDO has that no one else has is like those age categories. So it's like I don't know if we were talking about. Someone was talking about it, but like that. You need them like young, like that's why the new movements shit was so important. Like that new movements like made a whole generation of battlers, like Josh and them lot came up through doing new movements. But it's like when you have them categories, it's like you don't want to be like Maisie is fucking brave, mate. But like even for Maisie, it's like it's nice to have a place where she can go and really let loose and not be like, okay, you're amazing, but then it's like, all right, you get through the first round and then you have to fucking battle Marvel. Is that that's not fair? How old is she? 14?
She's just 14.
It's like that's not fair.
Maisie's the only like 13-year-old student I've ever had that's comfortable to go to like a battle full of men, and
exactly.
and she just looks at them like that.
But it's like even if she's comfortable, still there's a point where you're like, all right, but I'm never gonna like win until for like years now. These guys are like been doing it longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So it's hard for her to eventually she wants to do that and be pushed, but she also needs a space where she can be like, let me just take some heads off.
100%.
You need both.
No, 100%. Yeah, and but even just being in the same room as
is
people
good.
like that and just seeing them dance, like I remember it myself when coming home from like UK champs for the first time, and I'd seen like so many people I'd watched on YouTube and not seen before, and even that, like without even doing any training, I felt myself get better, even if I didn't physically even get better, so because I mentally told myself I got better. I probably did. Do you know what I mean? And
but there is something that unlocks when you see like higher level people.
Yeah, Green Tech. I remember seeing Green pop like in person for the first time, and like I don't think I'd ever seen anyone pop that hard in person.
You're like,
and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah,
proper little fanboy.
Same. But yeah, no, I just think it's like you need all the different elements, but they just have to be connected. That's the only problem. You know what I mean? Like you need UDO, you need Move It, you need this, you need like small battles, you need big fancy battles, you need international stuff, but they just all have to have like an ecosystem and they feed each other. Otherwise,
and don't clash.
And don't.
Jesus, the clashing thing has to stop. There's got to be a way. Guys, come on. Organisers, there's got to be a way of making the clash.
What they do, like from a theatre perspective, is that there's one big calendar.
Well, we tried that with the capsule thing, but the problem is like we have the capsule calendar still, and like people can still write and tell us, and we'll put it on there. But the problem is people don't. They just like either they don't check the calendar or they don't tell us their date. So then someone else will check with us and we'll look and we'll be like, there's nothing on that date. And then they put it out and then it's like, oh, but someone else. It's like, and that's kind of our, I'm not blaming that on them. It's our responsibility. Like the bigger we get, the more people will be like, okay, the capsule's the place to put the calendar.
No one wins from it. The event doesn't win, and the people that are going to the event don't win.
It was like
they want to go to all of them.
October or something, there was like 4 events on one day.
Yeah.
And one day.
There was one weekend. There was one weekend in the summer where there was like 6 in one weekend.
Yeah, it's insane. And then nothing. It's not like we have so many every weekend. It's like you could just move it one weekend. But there needs to be honest, we need what we really need, because there's like there's a WhatsApp group that's like the UK break-in WhatsApp group, and it's like you can just enter if you have an invite. Like it's an open WhatsApp group, anyone can enter. We need one for like UK event organizers, like all the UDO people, all the like everyone that does a battle, even if you're just starting your first battle, it's just like join the WhatsApp group and just I'm doing an event on this date.
Do you reckon it'd get beefy?
Probably.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like as much as the calendar thing helps,
they'd go off on the
like without the communication between those guys, the calendar thing kind of becomes irrelevant.
Exactly, because they're not even doing it
in the theatre world, because obviously, you have
the
Barbican is going to be talking to Sadler's Wells, and do you know what I mean? And they're all going to be kind of talking about when they can potentially put stuff on. But if people haven't got that kind of cohesiveness, then
bro, this is I should rename the pod I Hate Event Organizers. But like every problem in the scene for me.
You are one though.
Yeah, I know. I know. But that's why it's so important as well. But it's like every problem ends up coming back to it being the event organizer's fault for me, because it's like this is also a problem because you don't have anyone that's in the position of Sadler's, of whoever, of the Barbican, who is an amateur. We have people running events that are just some guy who are just like, oh yeah, just one day, like,
felt like it.
Yeah, like I've danced for a bit, like, fuck
Can't
it.
be that hard.
I'll run it, like I rented a studio, I'll run an event.
Yeah.
And it's like, fine. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to do that, but it's like, this is when this shit happens, because it's like, they don't have an understanding of marketing. They don't have an understanding of like positioning for, like, the more you communicate with the scene and benefit with the scene, the more people will come to your event because they know that you care about, you know what I mean? And it's like, so I just think it's like, this is kind of the problem when we have like the majority of, no, maybe not majority, but at least 50-50 of like people running events are not like seasoned event organizers or whatever. Like I'm not even a seasoned, I'm saying this, I'm not, but like I did study it and I've run quite a few and I feel like I pay attention and I take it seriously. Like I'll like read stuff, especially about marketing. I love marketing, especially with all this stuff, but like I'll read stuff, I'll watch YouTube videos and like try and understand the thing better. And I think from my perspective, I feel like there's people that run stuff that just have no organizational experience whatsoever. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll run a battle, fuck it, who can I get to judge? Which is fine, but you got to take it seriously because that's when you start to do all these clashes. And I guarantee if we look at the clashes, there might be one big event that was the first one there or something. And the other ones that clash with it are probably not experienced people. They're probably people that have just gone, fuck it. Oh yeah, I'll just pick an event, pick a weekend.
Just do it there, yeah.
Because like, you know, with the Nike thing, that it wasn't totally me that was in charge of like dates and stuff, but the date changed a few times and it was like, right, is there anything on this date? It was anything on this date. And they were asking me like, can you check? Can you put feelers out? Is anyone doing anything on this? Is anyone doing anything on this? So, I mean, the only bad thing was that it was like Friday daytime. So people were at work and stuff, but there was nothing else happening that day for sure. So, and that's like kind of event organization 101. Like
I was surprised with how many people were still there though, with it being a Friday daytime.
I think there was a lot of people that skipped work and school.
Yeah. I know Chili was there, and Chili had got his friend to cover his shift because he was just going to do the prelim for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then
he got through.
And then he was like, if I win my first round, he's going to have to cover the rest of my shift. So then he won his first round and then...
Shit.
Yeah. So
you know what? Like, I think... This is like not something that Nike have said, but I think off the record. I think they didn't expect the prelims to be such a huge part of the event. Like, because they heard like... Not Harry, like the people kind of surrounding in the team. I think they were like, oh, that's the qualifying rounds, but the real stuff starts from 8. So they... All right, we'll get a few people in. But it's like... It was really like a big part of the day, and like people came just to watch the prelims and stuff.
Big queue to get in,
yeah. So I think that was like, and that was, you know, also like shout out to the DJs for like making it like it wasn't just like prelims. Like I'm kind of like that. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get some food while the prelims are on because I'm not watching this.
DJs,
but
were sick.
The prelims are like as sick as the battles. To be honest,
yeah. There was stuff getting played in the prelims, and I was like, you're not gonna save this for the
bro, innit? And I was like, if this is a prelims, it's like. Yeah,
but then they did well in the battle, so it was fine.
But I think, you know, and not to kind of like go back on the Nike thing, because I'm sure people have heard us talk about it enough, but like that was one thing where you have such a benefit, because imagine like, let's say Josh, right? If he's DJing a normal battle, he might DJ hip hop, pop in and all styles in one day. And for all the prelims and all the things, he's DJing like 3 categories.
Yeah.
Someone like Josh, all he had to do was half of one category.
Yeah, just focus.
So he's got all his bangers to streamline into like just that.
It's a DJ's dream, really, isn't it?
Probably? Oh, yeah. So I think that really helped. Anyway, all that to say, Reckless Lee's event was dope.
Fucking great event, Lee.
Reckless Lee.
It's got so many elements.
Yes.
Yeah, last one standing.
Reckless Lee, formerly known as Flips.
Flips, was that what he called?
Anyone who knows, he's probably going to hate me for saying that.
Flips.
He used to be known as Flips.
I love it.
And then he changed.
And then last night was happy birthday to Free Your Style agency.
Whoop, whoop.
Our good friend Nads, who's been on the pod before, her agency turned 20, which is old as shit.
That's sick, though.
Also awesome.
Yeah,
ultra mega awesome.
Ultra mega awesome. You are bringing all the old names. But yeah, that was a nice event. They did a 2-on-2 All Stars battle for the celebration of it. I quite like the venue. I quite like those little like back.
One time my eyes got used to it. It was dark, wasn't it?
It was like in the back of a bar, kind of. There's like a second room where it was like a dark. I was saying to Lewis, it's like that's what all the events used to be.
I was going to say that sounds very throwdowny.
Exactly, that's what Nads was saying. She wanted that vibe, but it was very.
Was that what it was like? That kind of
Throwdown was literally in a bar.
In a bar
called Plan B in Brixton, but
I liked it. Like it was an intimate.
A lot of the battles back in the day were just in a bar.
Small. Like there was like, you know, some of the best, like, and you'd have like, say for Throwdown, it's like, especially like the week before Champs, this is what Throwdown always did really well, because it was always on a Thursday night. And if there was a big event coming, they'd move it to the Thursday before that big event. So for example, and especially when there wasn't a lot of battles in the world generally, let alone in the UK, it's like, okay, UK Champs is coming up on the Saturday. they'd move the road onto the Thursday, and you'd have like in this little bar in Brixton, but you'd have like fucking a 7 to Smoke with like Day, Green Tech, like Slim Boogie, and then you'd have like fucking the Break-In, and then you'd have like B-Boy Junior, like all these people, and you're like, it's just there's like 200 people here max, like
that's sick though.
And then you see them on the big stage, and you're like, oh, I saw them at the little battle like this week or whatever, so you'd know who was in town already. Social media wasn't huge.
It like
then.
creates a hype even more.
So anyway, I think that was I quite like them little venues. It's a different, like I said, everything's needed. So it's like, it wasn't like the big shiny fancy thing, but like as a little intimate like party vibe, it was cool. And how did you do in the battles?
Me and Silk won the battle last night, for fuck's sake.
He doesn't want me to make him
say it, man. Fucking hell, yeah. It was a great night. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thanks for the
Happy
win.
Hanukkah.
But you had Caine and J Funk in the finals.
We did.
Who beat me and Lewis before that. So thank you for taking them out for us.
You're welcome, mate.
Thank you for doing what I could not do.
I had to do.
But no, that was a nice final.
I thought the level of the whole thing was good.
It was surprisingly good, I think.
I don't think, like, there wasn't any battles where it was like you could go easy. For
no,
our run
100%.
anyway, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone in that top 16. And that was the other thing. It's not often that you do like a 2-on-2 top 16.
Yeah.
Like usually they just go straight to top 8 because it's more people. Yeah. But that was quite sick actually having it
it
top
was.
16.
There was time to warm into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone kind of got like a couple of battles out the way before the like semis and stuff. But yeah, shout out to Nads. And yeah, that was a lovely event. Wasn't so much of a fan of the music, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion. But you know what? So I'll say this. This is, yeah. We need to put like an echo.
Or not. Everyone agrees with you, then it's not controversial at all.
Actually.
I actually need one, but I'll wait.
No, the only reason I say about the music is like, I feel like I don't think it was, this might be controversial. I don't think in essence it was bad. I just think it didn't fit the vibe for me. Yeah. Like, because I think everyone went there feeling like it's a birthday bash, fun, let's just have a laugh. And like, I was
not last one of the year, actually.
Yeah. Sorry, but we're going to come to that.
Second to last one of the year.
Exactly. And I was talking to Caine even like the week before, and I was saying like, because he was like, oh, you're going to be dancing next week. And I was like, for me, it's like, it's hard to be competitive about like all style stuff. I'm like, it's just, and he was like, yeah, I'm the same. Like, I just want to go and have fun. And like, it's one of them where it's like, you don't know what music you're going to get. Like, let's just enjoy it. And especially with 2-on-2, it's like too many variables to be like, all right, we're going to fucking go in. It's like, unless you get like, if it's 2 hip hop dance, you get a hip hop track. All right, let's go for it. But otherwise it's like, you're just trying to have a laugh. And I think the way the music was a bit more like the experimental, like, trying to push the dancers to do weird and different stuff. And I think just for me, I think a lot of people weren't in that mood. They were like, oh, I just want to hear some fun bangers and have fun, you know? Because
it was an evening thing as well, right? So it was like you're going out and all of that. Everyone's just out for a good night.
Exactly, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Exactly. That's that, and it's more like low, like, yeah, it's not such artistic-y vibes, I guess. Like, it gave me a bit of like open heart surgery kind of like, you know what I mean? Like that's the mentality you'd need to be in.
Conceptual.
Which Silk thrived at. Fair play to him. I mean, you did as well, but like...
Oh, thank you.
But like, that's Silk's like bag is to be like, a song with no drums in it? Like, let's go. Like,
I just kept looking at it and going, this one's you. And he was like...
Yeah, I got that.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Because
it was waiting for that... Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for that to come on.
Just give me some snare somewhere. Just one snare. But like... I
did have a song with no snaring.
Yeah.
The whole time. But can I, devil's advocate?
Oh, yeah.
I do agree with the challenge in the music when it comes to all styles as well. And I don't think anyone should shy away from that. I think
for sure.
Sometimes people go, oh, the music was shit. But it's like, was the music shit or
can you not adapt?
Hard? Yeah,
that's true.
And there are definitely cases of both where sometimes the music is shit and sometimes...
It's a good song, but people can't. It's the person
that can't adapt to that type of thing. But
that's a very
I just
good
think,
point.
again, it was the vibe of the night wasn't quite that. And again, I think with all styles, this is where we need to start clarifying. Like, is all styles.
Which is the problem of the event organizers.
Yeah. Again.
But then are they just blindly, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to like
set.
I mean,
like,
there's nothing in set. Like,
for example, if there was contemporary dancers last night, then he catered to everyone.
Yeah.
So then I understand it.
True.
But there wasn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like, you can't make a crumper go to...
Right.
Well, you can.
You can,
did, but
sure.
Like,
but no, I think that's why, that's why I think you're right, where it's like the All-Stars needs to have like, I think I think we need to start doing from now, no more just All-Stars. Like, don't just say All-Stars and then put it out. Like, I think we need to have like something, like some concept, some like, give me an idea what the music's going to be like, give me an idea what the judging is going to be like, something. Because they've done that before a lot, where it's been like, All Styles, but like it's a Jay Dilla night, and it's like all the beats are gonna be Jay Dilla. Okay, cool, I get the vibe. And then, you know, like, because I remember Alpa, they did one. I think Kashmir and D'Lo, I think if I'm right, ran at JoJo's a Dilla All Styles battle. I could be wrong if it was them, but it was definitely at JoJo's. Alpa thrived because he was like, I love them beats, I'm definitely going. Yeah. And he went and did 6. So it's like, you know, if you know you like that type of music and you like the vibe, you're into it. But if you have no idea what to expect,
obviously then closes the margin of how many people you're going to get through the door, doesn't it? Which people won't want to do. I
think that's true in theory. Like on paper, that makes sense. But actually, we know this from in the real world. Everyone sees All Styles on a flyer and goes, ugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's like so many of us that just, especially like people that are like purists in their style, that just go...
But is that because of lack of clarity?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, if you say All-Stars, technically you could get anyone there.
Yeah.
But actually the reality of it is that most people just go, ugh. Whereas if you say it's a niche thing, you would think on paper you get less people, but actually more people would be like, oh, well, now I know I'm definitely going to go. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a balance, but...
I think it should always just specify, if it says All Styles, it should say, you know, in brackets... street styles only, or literally like open to anyone, and give some examples of like whatever style you want to put on.
I think,
or you could even just say like all styles of music, because then you don't know what you're gonna get. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, like all genres and styles of music are gonna be played, or
because
something.
You know, predominantly the dancers are gonna be from all styles of street styles, so it's not technically all styles anyway. But from a music perspective, it is, because you could get flipping house, or you could get funk, or you could get, do you know what I mean? You can get anything.
You're just saving yourself from complaints. You're just saving yourself hassle then, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think we need like way more like categorization on the like marketing of events, because it's like, even if we take the judging thing of this, like not that I want to go down this route necessarily now, but like the like WDSF like heavy judging thing versus the kind of like the old school, like just I pick who I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, yes, in a high stakes competitive environment is bad, but I think, let's say you are just going to do that for the sake of like the cultural thing of like, right, there's no criteria, judges just pick and whatever. If you categorize that on the flyer, it's not such a bad thing. If you said like, imagine we had 2 separate types of event. We had, let's call them like Olympic style event or something, and then we had arts. Because like I was talking to Neek from the Ruggeds, and he runs an event, and he was saying like he doesn't want that. He wants the like old school. He just like feeling like fun way. Like he doesn't want a really rigidly judged competition.
This event's sick, by the way.
Right, yeah, and I think it's fair, but as long as you let people know that, and you say, right, this is an art style dance battle, and this is a competitive style dance battle. So when you go, you're like, right, I'm going because I just want to have a good time, get some rounds off, and they're just going to judge for their preference. Like when you, I don't know, them fucking things where it's like a dog show, or like you bake a cake and it's like the judges aren't going, does the cake have this? They're just, this cake is better than that cake. All right, but it's a cake fucking competition. No one cares. So it's like, if you go to that one, you're like, I'm all right. It's a small prize money. I don't really give a shit. I'm just here to have fun. This one, it's like, all right, the prize money is like fucking $2,000. I need to know I'm being judged properly. So then if you announce all that shit, then you categorize it. And same with the music, same with whatever it is. It's just like, we need like names and categories so you know what event you're turning up to. Because it's like, I think that's part of the problem, is like people show up expecting. Some people are there to just have a laugh. Some people are there to like be artsy. Some people are there to compete. And it's just like, I don't know. It's a bit of a mess.
That's also interesting in regards to, if you look at like people's attention and attention span and attention to detail these days. Like when you see a flyer, you don't want to see a flyer with like a million things on it. And you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or
it's
if
like,
you're watching an ad, you don't want to watch an ad for like however long they've made our attention span be these days through social media. Like you don't want to watch a 5-minute advert that explains everything. You want 30 seconds, boom, 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 boom. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's like,
how do we get that out quick?
It's a bit of a balance, I think, that's needed.
Yeah, because I would even do that with like if it was a popping battle, I'd prefer if they were like, all right, popping battle, like funk music popping battle, or like whatever, you know, like new beats popping battle. So you know at least, all right, this is for the funk heads, this is for the, just give me some heads up. I know like as dancers we're supposed to be able to dance to everything, blah, 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 whatever. But
I love how Renegade used to do it with 2 rounds. You just know what you're getting before the battles. You know you're going to get an old school track and a newer type track.
And you know you're going to have a chance to like get your dance off and then get your like concepts or whatever.
It just makes sense. Like, and it also shows variety. Like it's more entertaining to watch because everyone's showing 2 different sides of the style then, instead of doing the same thing.
I think we need to do similar with hip hop, like one old school track, one.
Yeah, I think it's the best way by far.
Yeah.
For both watching and doing it yourself, dancing.
Yeah, 100%, man.
I'm gonna have to run toilet.
Yeah, go for it. In the meanwhile, we can start to talk about the battle this Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And there's a showcase this Sunday. Do you want to talk about like where it came from and like the showcase element and why we added the battle and all that?
So I think where it kind of started, obviously it's 50 years of hip hop this year, that a lot of different companies, I would say, are celebrating in their kind of way. And then I think it was around April where I became full-time at Boy Blue, and one of the first things I wanted to do was like, okay, how are we going to do 50 years of celebration for hip hop? And then I'd had this idea anyway about doing a showcase where I wanted to kind of do like bodies of work. So like you look at like bodies of work of albums. So like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the Black Album, or Forest Hills, or whatever. And what I wanted was like to give that body of work to like, I don't know, say if we go like old school days, it would be like one would go to Plague, one would go to Boy Blue, one would go to, and Kimberly J did a similar thing. I don't know if you remember the Michael Jackson. There was a Michael Jackson event after he passed, and she had like his albums, and then she gave them each to.
Vaguely, no. But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, so that was kind of the idea that I'd had.
Sick.
Just because obviously like pre-dance, I was a huge hip hop fan. I've always been a huge hip hop fan, and I think without the music, I don't think I would be dancing.
100%.
So I was like, okay, let's do that. Like there's something along the lines of that. So I was like, okay, let's try and see if we could do that. And then kind of at the same time, obviously, pretty much the Boy Blue team split. So half went to Manchester, and half we were left to kind of run it whilst they came back. And Ken was like, okay, Christmas show is yours, do what you want with it, kind of thing. So I was like, boom, this is the opportunity, let's do it here. And then I was like, how more to celebrate hip hop? And then I just thought the battles, there isn't enough. I know there are some, but I feel like something like battle events compared to what it used to be like, there could always be more. So then it was like, okay, let's just do both. Like, let's just do a complete celebration of like the 2 ends of the scene, I would say.
Sick.
So more so from the choreographic perspective, and then also from the battle perspective. And then it was like, yeah, so the idea in regards to the albums ended up being just the artists. So I was like, and then being a Boy Blue show, I kind of looked at the creatives that we have in the company and was just like, okay, Kendrick would be nice if it lends itself to Crump, some of the ideas. So I got Shaq and Alicia together. I was like, you've got Kendrick, go make me a sick Crump piece. And then there was just different elements. to all the other different creatives. I just felt who could I pair? And another thing about it, and why I was contacting you, was collaboration. Right. I just felt like something like this, also celebrating hip hop, because for me, hip hop is just as much about community as it is about. That's why I've you fat mother. Do you know what I mean? It's just as much about that. So for me, it was like, how do I highlight community and collaboration and stuff? So there was the element of that. And then it was like, okay, let me get some sick guests in and see what they want to do. I asked Harry, he said no. Just going to say that.
Wow.
Pew, pew, pew,
shots. Wow.
Obviously, he's too busy winning all the battles that there are in the world. So
he's done me. He's done me on camera. I wasn't even ready for that at all.
He didn't have a comeback.
But yeah, nah. So that was kind of the idea of it in the first place. It was like, let's. I had to, man. Thanks, you were one of the first guests. I was like, sorry, who do I want? I want Harry. Harry would be sick, mate, on any hip hop.
Please bring me in next time when I can make it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
next time. But yeah, so that's kind of how it came about, and then it was just like full steam ahead. And then I was just like, I hollered at you, and I was just like, obviously because of our history in regards to what we've done. So it was like, you know, if I'm gonna do something in the battle scene, like there was no one else to kind of go to. So it was just like, let's just do this thing, and like, it's not about money at all. It's just about a platform and celebrating hip hop and celebrating the community. Really, that's kind of what it's about. So yeah, man, that's it. So it's
gonna
just
be sick.
Full steam ahead, just trying to do that.
Yeah, man. And so like kind of structurally on the day, we've got prelims that start. What time do prelims start? I should know this.
Start at 1. So what the doors will open at 12.
Okay, doors
then
open
there
at
will
12.
be registration, sign-ups, and then like a pre-battle cypher,
like a little warm-up
jam, and then prelims will start, and then
we'll run battle till 5-ish.
5-ish, yeah. So we'll go top 16 all the way down, and we'll run the battle right to the end in the battle event, and then have a jam after, and then the top 8 will win tickets to see the show in the evening.
Sick. And
the 2 battlers will do an exhibition battle at the show as well to open up the second half.
Nice.
Just to kind of merge it a bit more.
So we'll kind of already know the winner before. Yeah. And then they're going to do the exhibition after.
So the people who are there will know the winner, but obviously the audience won't unless they've bought a ticket to come and see the battle.
Yeah.
And I just think it would be nice just for the battlers to have like
a low pressure exchange.
Yeah, it's just an exchange, and like it will be good vibes. There'll be like 300 people.
Yeah, people will love that on stage. You know like,
and we've got just like, I really wanted to highlight the DJ as well, because I think essentially without the DJ, there's hip hop doesn't exist.
Yeah, like because you said you're gonna have DJ on stage for the show.
Yeah, so I want DJ Stedman, sorry.
Yeah, DJ Stedman.
So the plan is for him to do like a 30-minute set pre-show of like just literally put the DJ in the middle of the stage.
As people are coming in.
Yeah. As people are coming in, and just put him in the middle of the stage, give him 30 minutes to do like 80s and 90s golden era strictly as people are coming in. So it's all of that kind of nostalgia, and then some kind of audience interaction, and then we'll run into the pieces, and the pieces are all just like hip hop artists that have made an impact or are people's favorite.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, and then we, if time allows, we'll try to do some like hip hop games, hip hop themed games with the audience, and then in the interval, Steady will just come out and play.
Should we play one now?
Do we have any hip hop games?
We can show them what they're in for.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple. So obviously there's trivia, and there's one I really want to do is like guess the bar. So the DJ will play and you'll sing along, and then they'll just cut the
And
music, and you have to say what the next bar is.
I'm so shit at that. I'm so bad with lyrics. My missus
do a Central
C
C1 version of it.
Mate, still.
How can I be homophobic? In a family show.
But the thing is, it's not a family show. You know when you used to buy CDs and you had parental advisory? That is on everything. People, if you're coming, just be aware it is not a family show per se, because it's hip-hop.
Parental advisory.
We're not bleeping out all the music because it's long. We just want it in its raw, organic form. So you're going to hear...
It's got to be that though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be, man. And I feel like that's hip-hop. The rawness of it is just as important.
Yeah,
so we're not doing no...
gentrification of tracks.
None of that. Like, you know, you do have to draw a line somewhere, but like, for example, I had Rain Crew, and the first track that they sent me in, like, it wasn't swearing per se, but what they were talking about, I was like, bro.
Yeah, some of these songs, like they don't need to swear to, like,
and I can't remember what it was,
kids.
And he didn't actually deep it when he sent it to me, but it was like, I am the devil, and I'm like, it was probably like, I'm gonna go to heaven and kill everyone, and like, and I was like, bro, and then he listened back and he was like, oh yeah, actually,
lit.
Actually.
I want to know.
You got the name of that track?
So
playing it in the car.
I do somewhere, So obviously, you know what I mean? There's a line, but in regards to general swearing in the track, like, we're just gonna let it be.
Sick.
So don't get offended. But if you're gonna get offended, don't come. It's that simple.
Fair.
So
and the battles one-on-one hip hop. And it's all like kind of like hip, like we kind of said, because Louis Tigran is judging, DJing, and we kind of said to him, like, go like hip hop music, not like battle beats or anything like that. It's just good old fashioned.
So what we were talking
songs
earlier about, like, the atmosphere and the vibe, like, the vibe is very much celebration. Like it's Christmas, you know what I mean? It's a celebration on that fact. We're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. We're celebrating hip hop music essentially, and the art forms that have come from it. So, you know, it's very important that the 100%. DJ goes down that line and just, you know, there's a flipping tons of tracks that you like, even curating the evening showcase, like, and trying to highlight as many people as possible, like, to try and highlight everyone, it is impossible. Like, we've 100%. Only got 2 hours, and like there's people that aren't highlighted that, as a fan of hip hop, burn me. That's my
they should have been in it.
Why is no one doing something?
Please tell me 50's in there.
He is actually 50's in there. Although speaking about 50, I went to see him in concert, and I gotta say, I wasn't massively impressed. Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star destroyed.
Were they warm up?
They were warm up.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were warm up. And the craziest thing was, we were sat next to these two people, and they were like, fucking Busta Rhymes, I just want 50 Cent. I just want 50 Cent. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like,
being like, complaining about Busta Rhymes being an opening, like, that's his own tour. Like,
do you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But yeah, 50's
Nah, but if you're complaining about Busta, you shouldn't be in the crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you came for all the wrong reasons tonight.
I went to see 50 Cent like years ago, like at least 10 years ago, and Fabulous was his opening act. Like when Fabulous was sick, and I was like, what? How is he the opening act for 50 Cent? Like, that's crazy.
I think with him, in regards to the show, I don't know if it's a bit of ego, but, you know, everyone... It was I think it was 20th anniversary of Get Rich or Die Trying album. Yeah. So that's what we wanted to hear.
Yeah,
plus all the hits. He did, but it was like mixed in with some of the new stuff, and like you could tell he'd been on tour for a time because his voice had gone, and just the creation of the playlist. Like, you want to end on like your big tracks.
Yeah.
He'd do his big tracks, and then you'd think it's ended, and then he'd come back and do new stuff, and then he'd be like, who wants to hear new stuff? And it'd be like,
it's like, kind of not really.
Tumbleweed. But Busta was jokes, because he was like, I feel like playing something new, and it was quiet, and he was like, oh, maybe I'll do a classic, and everyone went nuts. He was like, oh, you want a classic? Cool. And then he literally just went, don't this hit make my people want it? And then he cut it, and he was like, I'm done. And then he walked off, and then he was like, because no one gave him the love for the new stuff, so he was like, bun you guys. Like, but he had just done an absolutely amazing set, so he was like,
I've heard Busta is crazy in
I think from live performances, I think he's probably one of the greatest. Like, and the dynamic duo of him and Spliff Star is just
sick.
I tried to get tickets for that and failed. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, it was
Mad.
it was expensive. My lady blessed me. Thank you very much. But
birthday or just being nice?
Birthday.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, so in regards to the show, we're trying to hit as many as possible, but you're never going to get everyone.
No,
so,
of course.
you know. But yeah, man, it should be a good event.
Definitely.
I guess I never thought I would be event organizing, producing, or whatever, but it's just one of them things. Like, I think if you have an idea to do something, whether it's within your, and I was having this conversation with Kathleen, who are working in the office the other day, and I was just like, I feel like we're so, I mean, probably my generation more so, were bogged down by like labels, like you're a dancer, you have to dance, you choreograph, you shouldn't dance, da 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 da. But like, really, if you've got an idea to do something, you just do it. Like, just make it happen. I think that's a very Boy Blue thing. Like, you want to do something, we just do it. Like, for the love of it, and because, you know, no one else is going to do it for us. Do you know what I mean? And then you don't realize, and then she's like, well, that's producing. Yeah. That's cute. And I'm like, I'm just doing what I want to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Or this is just the idea. But, and then you start to realize that, okay, so you are doing all these things, you are producing. So then when it comes to putting on something else, you've already kind of got the experience, because without knowing, you've been doing this already. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's kind of that, I was reading something about this recently, but like, it's kind of like the like reluctant leader position, where you're like, you don't have a passion for being a leader necessarily. You might, but it's more just like, well, this thing needs to exist. Oh, no one else is going to do it. All right, fine, I'll do it. It's like, oh, this is a great concept. Like, I'm sure you'd be equally happy if like someone else did that concept and you were a dancer in it. Yeah. But you're like, well, if no one else is going to do this concept, I'll do it. Like, you know, it's like
essentially as well, it's like I'm doing this as a fan of hip hop and as a fan of dance, essentially. Yeah. So it's like, what do I want to see as a fan? And I think if you're looking at putting on events or doing something, I think one of the key, and I'm not speaking like I'm some events guru, because I'm really not, but it's like, for me, it's like a core thing is like, what are you a fan of? Like, what do you want to see? Like, essentially, the showcase in the evening could potentially be my playlist in the car. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what do I want to see? And then when it was like pitting people together or asking guests to come along, it was like, who do you want to see dance? But it was like, who do I want to see? And like, and like, in regards to what kind of content, and like, oh, it would be sick if this person was on this track or whatever. And it was like, and you just kind of hope that other people share that same.
Well, I think that's the art of it, because it's like, you know, when we see like a dance piece or we see a battle, is that we want to see what you're bringing to the table. And it's the same with an event. It's like, like, show us what you love, because it's going to be different from what I love, and that's what makes our events different.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And that's why I want to go to your event, and that's why, like, if there's like 7 events that are all the same thing, it's like, well, you're not trying to bring you to the table, you're just trying to do what you think is popular, and that's never going to be the vibe, I think. But so anyway, that is this Sunday, people. One-on-one hip hop. Probably top 16 down to the finals. So check us out. Stratford Circus,
Stratford Youth Zone,
Stratford
as it's now known.
Youth Zone, which has a previously known as Stratford Circus, which was where Stylefest was, which is where a lot of old battles used to happen. But 17th of December. Yeah. This Sunday, one-on-one hip hop, and then it's going to be the afternoon, and then the evening is the Boy Blue showcase, which is sold out.
It is sold out. It is sold out time ago.
But top 8.
We're going to try and see if we can squeeze some more tickets, because it's getting mad.
But top 8, if you get through to top 8, you get to see the show anyway.
You get a seat in the show if you get top 8.
Past prelims, see a nice show in the evening.
Yeah.
And then if the top 2 will do a showcase exhibition battle in the actual showcase in front of 300 people who are not usual battle audience. So it's always good to get your face into new spaces. Caine, Hannah and me judging. So going to be a bunch of ties, just terrible decisions. I'm just going to vote for whoever's wearing the brightest t-shirt.
Wow.
That's
why we hide.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, if people want to send me like PayPal money, I'll vote for you. I'm just, you know, as biased as I can be, really. If you want to win, like, just come down, man. I'll vote for you.
I'll come down.
Even if you pop in
I'll come down.
And then he comes at the end of the battle, and Bruno's like, you just see Harry in the audience. No, but yeah, so that'll be fun. Lewis DJing. We're gonna have Six and one of the mentees from the capsule hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard there's some good people coming down already. So yeah, man.
Yeah, we still got some sign-ups, so
Yeah.
And we'll be taking them up until the day, probably.
Yeah,
I
you
imagine.
can-
So
I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of people that show up on the day.
yeah, it's filling out. To be fair, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be rammed.
Sick.
We were like, how many people are we allowed in here? Okay, let's max that out.
Yeah.
So we're definitely gonna try and create like a vibe, an energy.
Sick. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, should be good.
Sick.
And then I can finally do this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that while I'm judging. 1, 2, 3.
That's how you
nice,
tie.
Yeah. You can only tie like that.
sick. We're doing that.
Yeah. That's a sick.
I'm gonna tie every round.
We're doing that.
What was I gonna say? Also, I don't have much information on this, so it can't really be a full topic. But I think isn't Just a Boo this weekend.
It is.
Oh,
I
shit,
spoke to Caine about the battle, and he was like, I'm flying in from Just a Boo. I don't know what time I'm going. But yeah, it is Saturday, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
The Just a Boo. So I mean, I think isn't Brooke in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not.
I mean, he's on the lineup.
Yeah, okay, so it's out there, yeah. Because
Yeah.
Caine said he's going with Brooke.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
Brooke.
yes.
Yeah, it's like it's
Super
been a
dope.
while since I've seen Brooke battle. So let's see how that
Yeah.
goes. I mean, that would be a great like return for Brooke to just smash people at Just a Boo and it'd be
Oh,
like,
mate, I'd love it.
Just
Still
to
here,
remind, I'm just here
motherfuckers.
to remind you all,
Yeah.
in case you forgot. And that's what I think was dope about the Nike thing with like Joel.
Yeah.
Who I had not seen, like, me and him are we're boys, like we have like this Arsenal group chat where
Yeah.
we're always talking in that, and like I'd not seen him like anywhere for a while, and then I saw that
Yeah,
he came and he
same.
won that, and I was like, yes.
Yeah,
and I said it,
it's
and
nice to
he
see
was like,
that.
bro, sometimes you just got to come out and remind people. I was like, yeah, you do.
yeah, man. I think it's going to be cool. I'll be really interested to see. I pray to the gods of event organization that they fucking get it filmed and put up on YouTube.
They pray to the gods.
They can't not, like,
'Cause they've
something
done
as
some-
big as that.
Bro, they've done some where they like live stream, but only from the semis, and then the other ones aren't out. Like some of the Just a Boos I have not been the best with like putting footage out. So I hope they get like, just get stance, like to just film it and put it out on YouTube or whatever. But anyway, you never know. So yeah, anyway, good luck to Caine and Brooke. I think that's it from the UK.
good luck, lads.
There's probably people that are going to go out and try and qualify. I don't know, but there's
Oh, can you qualify?
yeah, there's an open qualification. So I don't know if anyone from the UK is going, but if they are, good luck as well.
Yeah.
Are they bringing? They're bringing back the 2v2, aren't they?
Oh no, sorry, it's 1v1. I'm lying.
No, but they are.
Yeah, they're bringing it back after. I think it's like next year or the year after they're bringing back the original concept.
Lovely stuff. Fucking love Just
He's
a Boo,
ready. We do. This is like becoming a tradition now, but like we'll do a few We're Not Really Strangers questions for you guys.
Sure.
We won't go to the deep ones because I feel like it's not the vibe. But let's see.
The deep one.
What
do
am
you
I
mean
signing up
deeper
for?
these
Like
days?
they're like they can get like emotional.
Can they?
Yeah. All right. So wait, but not these ones. These are like the less emotional ones. But let's see.
Sopping down the mic.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm just organizing for people that are just listening to this. I'm
What's that
organizing.
thing called?
ASMR.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm just doing the cards.
It goes through me. It gives
Yeah,
me
it
the
is.
complete opposite.
It makes you like
effect of,
shiver in
like,
it. Okay, here's what we do, right? I'll shuffle it, and then you guys have to pick a card, and then the other two of us have to answer for each other, if that makes sense. So it's going to be like you have to read it out, and it's going to be a question about you.
Oh,
We
and
have
you have to answer
about
about
you.
me.
Yeah. I'm not good at shuffling cards.
I can tell.
Okay, do you want me to do it?
Are you good at shuffling cards? I'm just like,
It's like,
oh, here we go.
oh, he's gonna do it.
Oh, hey, that's a.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, you better than that.
The
you?
double shuffle.
Can you do that?
No, shite. I would have been like you.
All right. So then you pick a card, any card.
Thank you.
All right, Dynamo. Fine.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Is this your card? Was this your question? Is it a good one?
Do you think I've ever been fired from? Oh, do you think I've ever been fired from a job? And if so, what for?
I don't know if I can say it on mic. But I would say I can imagine you maybe getting fired like when you were younger, but for just being like, oh, I just can't be fucked to go. Or so like you just show up late and be like, I don't even want to be at this job anyway. Like I can imagine you like if you don't love something, like just being like, I just don't care.
Yeah, no, you've got it banged on the like nail on the head. But I've always danced, haven't I?
Oh, so, true, right, yeah, that's true.
So I've never had a job to lose. Well, and sorry, you can get sacked from a
but yeah,
a
it's not
job,
like a 9 to 5.
I haven't had that experience yet.
Fair enough.
I haven't quite fucked it enough to get sacked.
To get sacked,
probably close.
Yeah.
Let's not do this one.
Okay. Right.
We're definitely not doing that one. We're definitely not.
Yeah, definitely not doing that one.
Yeah.
I got you back, don't worry.
Safe. What is my body language telling you right now?
Don't change it.
So I always sit.
What do we think, guys at home? Has anyone got like, you know, them people that can read all the little?
Yeah, every little.
It's like, oh, he lifted his shoulder. That means he's likes the color yellow. I don't know. I feel like you're comfortable. You're like he's angled towards us, which is a good.
Yeah,
sign.
he's open to the conversation.
Yeah, he's not like.
Do you know what I mean? He's not closed off. Yeah. I think you're an open book right now, Bruno.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I think.
That.
Open book.
I feel like you feel at home.
I do. Yes. The couch is very comfortable. It's
cozy in it.
Shall I do one? I mean, this might be quite easy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how messy do you think my car is? 1 being the cleanest, 10 being a complete disaster, and you have to explain why.
I was in it last night. Your car?
Yeah. Actually, no, but right now I've just had it cleaned, so you were in the cleanest it's been.
It was dark as well, so...
but on a general day-to-day level.
All right, I'm gonna just throw in I'm going to throw in a 6.5 out of 10.
On the messy scale?
On the messy scale.
Okay, but you have to explain why.
Because you know, you're always lugging around cameras and microphones and stuff and, you know, in and out with the bags and...
True.
You know, you're very on the go. I don't see you as one of these people that go, do you know what, this morning I'm going to hoover my car. You're like, no, I'm gonna edit 1,000 pictures,
like while I'm driving,
upload them all with captions and
yeah, and you know the other thing is like I'm really like I don't like, not that I don't like company, but I like to be by myself when I'm driving. Like if I'm doing long journeys or something, I'm not gonna be like, oh, does anyone want to come with me? I'm just like, I want to be by myself. So because I know there's not that many people in the car, I just like, if you see my car clean, it means I've taken a journey with someone recently.
And you had to get it clean.
Because I'm like, oh, if me and you were going to drive to Manchester for a battle, I'd go get my car cleaned before I pick you up. Yeah, because I'm like...
You don't have to do that if that ever happens.
No, but it's like, it's just not pleasant to be. It's like the house. It's like, I might live like with it a bit messy, but if someone's coming over, you do a bit of a tidy up. Just
I'm the same with you. I think with mine, I ain't clean my car for time because I just like, unless there's a reason for me to do it, it's not on the list of priorities of things to do. Like,
and you're only in that driver's seat, like...
And if it's just me, I don't care if there's a Coke can sat there that's been there for 4 or 5 days. Do you know what I mean? So.
But yeah, it's like if I'm picking you up, like dropping you like 20 minutes away, maybe not. But if we're going to do like, if you're sitting there for 4 hours, you don't want to be like, what's this stuck to my foot? Like,
do you know what though? I don't have a car. So I think it's a car person thing where like, I don't know, like, because people say it to me when I get in their cars all the time, like, I'm so sorry for the mess, and I'm like,
I don't care.
I wouldn't even notice anything. Do you know what I mean? But I know it from having my own place where I'm like, oh, sorry for the mess.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same. Yeah.
Like, I would never go round someone's and go, it's a bit.
Yeah,
unless there was shit on the floor. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'd never come around and judge you if there was like messy plates.
Yeah, just like a jumper out and you're like, oh, I would have folded that.
Yeah, really letting himself go. Finish the sentence just by looking at... Oh, finish the sentence just by looking at you, I'd think... Don't be shy, guys.
Guys, right in the comments.
I'm gonna keep it PC and say you like Nike.
Thank you very much.
Boring.
You're not wrong there, mate.
Yeah, but you know.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I would say, just by looking at you, I would think. Is it just? Yeah, just by looking at you, I'd think. I definitely think you're like one of the people that the least looks like a dancer.
Yeah.
But I think also just because you're like from where you're from and stuff, like, like maybe it's like just by looking at you, I think like you'd just be.
Do you think I don't look like a dancer at all?
I think so.
Yeah,
like I think you, because even like which I'll come on to that, but like I would say that you're like, I would look at you and think, oh, he's just like a football fan lad that like is down the pub chilling with his friends. But you know what?
Pints. It's even when we're at UDO and like it's the evening time. It's like
you're just like
when you look where you whenever you see Harry, it's literally 3 pints, like 3.
The queues are mad.
Like
there is a
like,
method.
everywhere he goes, he has 3 pints in his hand.
There is a method behind that madness, and it's not because I'm a raging alcoholic. It's because
just he's drinking all 3 at once.
Yeah. Just necking them.
It's like a fountain.
The queue is always massive, and they insist on only having 2 bar stuff.
But I will follow up what I said by saying the fact that you don't look like a dancer in that way is like one of the things that I love about you the most. Because like I'm so into like originality in dance and like just not trying to be fake. And like I think there's a lot of people, especially being from Liverpool or the world, where you're like, and I find this with people from like certain countries where they don't feel like there's not so much of a hip hop culture where they're from, so they feel like they have to like put it on.
Have to buy the costume.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I love about you is like you never tried to be anything but who you are as a person. Like you still have your same friends from your area. Like you still live there, and then you come down and you're just like, let's have this fucking popping battle, mate.
Even when you come out to start like your rounds, it's just like
it's a fucking lad.
Literally just a lad coming out, just like, do you know what I mean? It's so, but that's what brings the uniqueness to what you do. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just like you're not gonna come out and be like, I'm gonna do a walkout, or do you know what I mean?
Or
you're
trying to be like, oh, I'm from I'm fucking gangster, West Coast, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like West Coast of the world.
Yeah.
No, but I love it. Anyway, it's a positive.
No, respect that. Thanks.
What reality show do you think I'm most likely to binge watch? Explain.
Ooh,
I don't know that many, but to be honest, I can imagine you being like, because also it's like, I feel like having a girlfriend changes you.
No, I was about to say the same. Like watching reality TV with your missus is belter.
Yeah,
I love it. Like,
I don't think I would have never even bothered watching reality TV before, because I used to just be like, this is dead.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, she'll put it on and I'll be like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
This is rubbish.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this.
I saw a TikTok about that. The guy's like, it's like watching like when your girl puts on reality TV and you sit down, you're like, oh, this is and then you're like, but who's that one? And then like the next layer is you're like, so they're in a relationship. And he's just like, you get into the character.
Oh, you watched that without me? Like, how are you watching this without me? Like,
yeah,
definitely.
So I don't know. Do you know ones that you could guess for him?
Well, I'm sure Lily said that she likes Married at First Sight, but she's worked on that, hasn't she? I think
she might have worked on it.
So is that not one?
That might be a bit too far.
Is that down the reality? We're gonna go with the generic Love Island then.
Nah. Neither of us are into that, to be honest. All right, we watch things like Rap Game and like.
The Rap Game. Okay, I watch that. Would you say that's not reality though, or
it's reality? It's people.
Well, it's a competition. It's
but that's
BBC. It's like a rap competition.
But like, Got to Dance or Britain's Got Talent, that's reality.
Yeah, it's still reality because it's not actors, it's like real people.
Okay, I was taking it like reality TV.
Like they're kind of fake scripted.
Yeah, I make guilty pleasure. I watch all that with my missus. 100%.
Yeah, it's not like
I think it's jokes.
I'll do that with like Jen's shows. That like she'll ask me, "Do you want to watch this?" I'm like, "Nah, that looks shit." She'll put it on, and then I'll come home and I'll be like, "So, all right, so tell me what's this?"
Yeah. That happens to us all the time.
We just finished watching actually that I didn't think I was going to get into is The Bear. Have you seen that? The cooking show. It's not like it's like a story about a chef. No. It's actually good, man. Like,
Yeah. All right. Well, we
Bear,
just finished
yeah.
stuff, so like we need
It's
to
on,
get some
I think
new
Amazon
stuff.
Prime.
Have you? Are you watching the rap game this year? Then.
Yeah.
Who do you think will win?
I'm not sure.
They're in the final four now, aren't they?
Yeah. It's interesting because obviously that the LR Loose guy that came in late, he's sick, but then like his live performance was terrible. Like,
Yeah,
and it's
like-
but then T Rhodes, I know has a following because I used to work in music, and I tried to sign him when he was like 14.
Is it? Yeah, he's been popping off for time.
He's been popping off for time, so he's already got. So when you're looking at like selling records and stuff, like he's already got a fan base. So does that come into play?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, so it's quite varied.
I'd like to see him win it.
Yeah,
but I don't think he will.
He's a bit like you. Like he's quite like Shelly, and he's always just about he's like a grime kid at heart, and he just
sticks to what he likes. Yeah.
Versatility, maybe not so much, but like.
What are you trying to say?
But yeah, no, I'm talking about T Rhodes.
I'm joking.
But yeah.
All right, I'll do last one and then we'll wrap up. This one. No, that's boring. Let's do a better one. Do I seem like more of a creative or analytical type? Explain.
What's analytical?
Like analyzing everything and like.
More about like the logistics of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would say that's hard because I think it's kind of both. I think definitely creativity. What's the word I'm looking for? I think creativity probably aids the analytical side. That's what I would think. I think you're a creative person first, but in order to be as creative as possible, your analytical needs to be on point. So you kind of need both. Especially for what you do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, even if you're looking at just a podcast, like a lot of it is creative because of you know who you have and like the topics to discuss and all of that kind of stuff. But then the analytical side of like making sure everything is right, the lighting and this and then the edits of the footage and like, you know what I mean? So I definitely think it's a fusion of both. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question for you. I agree with Bruno where it's like, it's a proper mix of both. Because obviously you're creative. Like you can't do what you do and not be creative. But you can't not be analytical as well. Yeah. Like I'm definitely not analytical.
Really?
Like I just know I'm not. Like that's not my thing at all. Like
you just want to like zone out and create.
Oh, just don't ask me any questions. Just follow or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
But like you definitely think through things more.
Yeah.
And you have things
like planned
out more, and I reckon you'd work to more of a schedule than like I would. I don't know. That's hard. But
I think the weird thing is with this is like I'm analytical about my creativity.
Yeah,
exactly. So you know what I mean.
So it's a bit of a trick question.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, it's definitely cars. They both feed
Sorry,
each
guys.
other.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh wow. Okay, so I just pulled this as a wild card, but you guys have to do this. This is a good last one. Okay, so the wild card is rate your dancing skills on a scale of 1 to 10.
No way.
On the count of 3, say your answers out loud, both at the same time.
What? As in our?
Yeah, you have to rate your own dancing skills out of 1 to 10, and you have to say it out loud on the count of 1, 2, 3.
Oh shit! You going as well? All 3.
Shall I do it?
All 3 after.
Okay, wait. Let me think then. My dancing skills right now. Fuck. All right. Cool. It's hard because I want to explain myself. I want to be analytical about it. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to say a number. Ready? So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then we say the number together all at the same time.
All right, cool.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Harry's
going to be like 12.
And here are the battle trophies.
Yeah. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3,
7.5.
Okay, yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think these are all fair.
What did we all say?
I said 6. You said 7. 7.5.
7.5.
No, you said 7 and you heard him say 7, so you went 7.5.
7.5.
He's even competitive about this. No, I say 6 because I'm a bit out of practice and out of shape, and I fucking sit on a sofa every week. So
I agree, but I said 7 because I'm taking in all aspects.
Yeah, because you do like choreo and all that type of stuff. So you've got like other bits to
Yeah,
and also you have to think is like, all right, are we thinking on like a world scale or a local scale? Anyway, doesn't matter.
I mean, that question could be a whole podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that card came out though.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's mad.
I just saw it. I was like, oh, we got to use that. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Congrats to you. Congrats to Nads on 20 years of Free Your Style. Congrats to Recklessly for pulling off a dope event at the Samsung KX space, which is beautiful. And that was really a great element of it that we didn't really talk about. But yeah,
we talked about everything else.
Everything but that.
Yeah.
It's like, so Recklessly's event, you know Blue Whales? Like, it's just like, how did
He's going to be sat there waiting and then it comes and he'll be like, what?
Imagine it's like on the time codes, it's going to say like, last one standing, there's going to be like 40 minutes of talk and he's going to think we went in on his event, but it's just like, talking about everything else. What else? And then, this Sunday, dying already. This Sunday, check out the Boy Blue showcase and the event in collaboration with the Capsule, where we're going to have some dope battles and have a freaking good time before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then
good luck, Caine and Brooke as well.
Good luck, Caine and Brooke. And then we're going to try, I'm still in the process of sorting it out, try and get you some sort of Christmas content so that if you're bored on Christmas Day after you eat and you want to watch a Capsule ep, we might have one for you. If I can get it sorted. So thanks everyone. Thanks for you guys for being here. Love you both so much.
You,
and hopefully you're still on time for your train. Maybe not. And
I'm late. Right. I'm going to get sacked off this job.
We'll come back to the question. All right. Thanks guys. Peace. Bye.